Sunset. Picking split though, I don't know what's happened. I don't know what FAMSI has brought that they think they're now able to play that map after losing 13-1 and not winning it this season, and going into a Heretics team that just beat Foot fairly dominantly on that map. So clearly they found something that they think they can pick apart, but yeah, I'm not confident for them in this series in general. It's the best team in the league versus arguably the worst. I think it's going to be a tough one. And they've also removed Redgar straight after he probably had his best performance.
Yeah, the man gets moved off IGL, plays well, and he's out. He's gone and having to reset. And I think, you know, it's difficult to imagine then for Team Heretics a reality where they don't 2-0 this. And I think most people will come in with that in their minds. But an opportunity perhaps for GX as the underdogs. Certainly no opportunity for Purpo. Clean, quick shot by Rian's, Mini-Boo on it as well. And GX look very much staggered on the way through B. They openly peeked some angles to try to draw rotations perhaps to allow that lurk up from Hoodie. That's being caught as well. Now a spam through the smoke takes Cloud, and you know, I feel like GX haven't even started the round and it's already over.
Yeah, well, FAMSI in a 1v5 in his first round in the VCT.
Yeah, here we go.
Versus Team Heretics.
Oh yeah.
He's probably going to lose. We're being honest. I think this would be the greatest debut round we've ever seen. I think Navira might have the title at the moment with an ace in the first pistol he ever played. But hey, you know, he got a kill. He did better than the rest of the team at least.
Redgar would have gotten 4. Well, 1-0 for Team Heretics, and a good start on this map. Now, keep in mind, Bind is their selection. Up next is a map, as Tom said earlier, that Heretics have looked great on, destroyed Foot, and GX have looked absolutely abysmal on, with limited time to make turnarounds. Also, you have to think about trialing processes while you're bringing in another player. I imagine they, you know, coming in, the conversation on the desk as well about FAMSI, something you told me backstage earlier on, Tom, correct me if I'm wrong, it was 94% of his games were duelist so far. So
10% of that being Chamber.
Yes, that is a duelist, and if anyone wants to get pedantic about it, we can talk after. But the reality is, when you bring this guy in, you're going to maybe be even saying, okay, let's do a few scrims where you're a duelist. Let's do a few scrims where you're trying this role and see what works. So you really don't have a lot of time to build those fundamentals. And, you know, my heart aches for GX, although I guess they made the decision. So their problem, I suppose. For Heretics, on the other hand, a bit of a risk here by Wood going up against the pistols, up close with a Bulldog. He will only get himself a double. Boo will fall afterwards. And there is a chance emerging for GX, despite the huge weaknesses they came in with.
Yeah, even a chance just to do a little bit of damage. Like it's very easy to come into this match and write them off from the get-go, but I think the chips were already stacked against them before they made the change, and I think now with the change, you basically have to hope that, well, FAMSI has a great performance. And bear in mind, he is still playing within the Tier 2 at the same time. Yep. Like he's playing both sets. Right? Yeah, so it really is a lot on his shoulders to try and get something here. In this round,
30 seconds left.
The 2 remaining players still only have pistols. Even getting a plant here is not going to be particularly easy. Nade still in the hands of Mini-Boo, still has a boombot as well with 20 seconds left. And even going to be able to cover the majority of the site just with utility. They'll at least get themselves a plant, and FAMSI just survives.
Yeah, I mean, a sliver of health. I don't think he's long for this world. 9 health in a classic. And 2 players patiently waiting. I feel like a switch was flipped by Heretics. Once we saw Boo die, they don't overextend. They're not playing crazy aggressive. They're just waiting back and giving their opponents respect. Maybe the confidence ran a little bit too high to start with, but it's certainly been tamed by the end. 2-0, 3 players surviving, 3 rifles carried forward. Certainly not the end of the world for that defensive side. There was that glimmer of hope for GX, now faded, but they will buy rifles in the next round. And hopefully then we get to see them with a little bit more pizzazz. I feel like that pistol really just went terribly off of a few shots hitting. You have players peeking corners to spot out, to make some noise, and they get ripped apart. That sets them up for a 2-0 loss to start. But now the game begins.
Yeah, I want to premise as well what's on the line today. For Heretics, if they win this game, they're in playoffs. It's guaranteed. If they lose today versus GX, Fnatic are actually at Seoul. Like they go on championship points, so they can already be qualified. And if GX lose, they could be eliminated this week. Also, they're very likely already gone. Damn. See you later, Cloud. you can see the confidence that this Heretics team are already running with. Not only does Boo have himself a Bucky, which I think says all it needs to say, but the fact that Mini Boo's already managed to get an opener within the first, what, 10 seconds of a round?
Yep.
That's a dangerous style to set.
And look at Purpo, no shields, low HP. He's being tagged up heavily by that fight as well. So, hey, look, there's a world where Miniboo gets 2 out of that situation. It's gotta be tough on the GX side. They've slowed it down. Spike still left outside A as they prod out the map for some information. But that info is not being given away. Heretics again showing that passive stance, only the pixel peek by Woot, but that's being caught. Great connection by Purpo. Might even try to take some space. You see the gate crash move alongside the decoy. It's set up now. Taking it would be a big risk.
Making their move. Miniboo's watching. Head spotted.
It's a fake.
Already have a little bit of information. Actually, the rotation's been pulled. Both players start their move, although Rian's, there's a little bit of hesitation. I don't think he's realized that Vitinho's crossed just yet, but that spot will come out. 20 seconds left on the clock, and they still haven't managed to get themselves into the site just yet, but Rian's being so low means he almost has to try and give this one up. Even still, though, Vitinho battling, brawling. Benji's already managed to give them the man advantage, and the plant will at least be coming through. An opportunity here with players so desperately low.
Yeah, this could be it for GX. That fight towards elbow especially, they're teed up with the flash. It's caught them a little bit, and Famzy doubles up. Vitinho looking to swing deep and take Miniboo down. It's a dangerous fight, but one that he wins. And Boo a little late to the party. He's got Purpo looking the other way. Has an idea of the final player. The low HP is in play. Vitinho's out. And Heretics cling on to that round. What a clutch by Boo.
He's so good on this map in particular as well. I don't think I'll ever forget that Omen TP he did. You remember, onto the spike and got killed from behind. It's still one of the best Red Bull clutches I've ever seen. But you put him on the Brimstone, he's still going to be able to thrive. But it definitely seemed like they were convinced that the remaining player was going to come from that defender spawn. And, well, if he's given a free kill like that and the last player's on low HP, the round can very easily fall apart. And that's the thing, I like the adaptations that were there for GX. Like, they were a man down.
Let's go!
They needed to be a little bit more aggressive. I love that, even though for a lot of people, you'd be thinking this game is a given. For Benji, this is like World Cup final. Like, the guy is all in every single time.
He's soaking in every minute on that stage. You'll love to see it. Purpo's already on the site. Gate crash was used. Fight onto Boo is good. Spots the second, but can't get there in time. The aim not quite following, but GX managing to storm the site, cleaning up the rest of the kills, and leaving Benji and Rienz to clutch it. They're miles away. Split as well, coming in from separate angles. This is going to be a round for individuals to thrive. Rienz does well to find one. But with him going down, Benji's left with a very tough decision. I mean, economically, there's even some players that could definitely use that rifle in the next. And a 1v3, is he likely to get it? I think he might go for the save. Well, he's in the other team spawn, so I'd be surprised if he wasn't.
Yeah, I think it's worth noting as well, just giving a little bit of an idea of how this map has played out for Heretics over the last, well, few months, I guess. So they're currently on a 4-win streak on this map. They're 7-1 over the last split, Masters, and the split before. So over the last few months, they're very, very consistent on this map. And also when it comes to the attack side, you're talking about 9-3 half versus Na'Vi, 10-2 half versus G2, 8-4 half versus 100 Thieves, 7-1 versus Foot. So they're very, very good when it comes to that attack side. So I think this first half is going to be pretty important for the side of GX, but already getting themselves onto the board. Some good individual players. And the thing I always like with GX is whenever I see Vitinho and Purpo both on Duelist, that's where I do think they have the best chance of coming out with a victory.
Oh, Vitinho impressed us on the Breeze. I can't remember if it was last week. I think it might have been the week before.
What was it in last week?
There you go.
If they've been playing Breeze, then...
my memory served me well, I suppose. Yeah, 2 weeks ago. It was a lot of fun on the Yoru. We know that his Rays can be scary. One away from having himself a showstopper. They know there's aggression. The spams don't quite land. Heretics able to back off out of that choke point, reset into an A fight. Now for GX, they haven't lost a ton, but the main thing is keeping that ultimate from being reclaimed. Rienz having to concede the space. They get nothing off the early fight, and I think they can be pretty happy with that on the attack side. There could have been some less than optimal outcomes to that.
It does seem, at least initially, that Heretics have gambled a little bit with their defensive setup, but I guess with now the clear coming out from the haunt, no one in showers, they're starting to realize that this is likely a double pump back in towards this B site. Information will be gathered up by Purpo. He has an exit plan at least, and we'll be able to spot the majority. In fact, though, he actually tries to go in.
That was an audacious play. My goodness. Rien's picked up 2 from the backside before going down. It gives them a chance. TP attempt from Famzy. Oh, he's gone right behind him! The trail even showed it, but they didn't react in time. And now Famzy, well, he might be stuck in a corner, but he's got plenty of support. Showstopper used at the inopportune time. It might drop Cloud, but it won't do anything to recover the round. GX 3-2.
I feel like he may have embodied Redgar a little bit there.
Yeah, he's been watching VODs.
The TP was a gamble, but it definitely paid off. Being able to get up behind him, it was one of those spots where he's stuck in the mud. He's been caught by that season. One of the only ways out is the TP, but to go in behind, definitely a little bit risky. But it's his fight forward into this smoke that actually does all of the work. A huge individual play from someone brand new to this role. Brand new to the tier 1 as well.
5C, let's go.
Not a bad start whatsoever for this attacking side. Showstopper for them online for this round could help to break through this defense, but they might not even need it. Team Heretics, Pistols, Sheriffs, a Stinger, and a Guardian to work with. It's Miniboo with the Guardian going for aggression on A main, not seeing anybody. And understandably, no one else on Heretics is looking to get too aggressive. They're tucked in, holding their corners, waiting for those pushes to come through. I mean, the one good thing about this is GX are using a lot of the utility to clear out. Flash burned up, Boombot out of play, but there's plenty more to go, especially Decoy held by Purpo for late round. I think that's going to clear out a lot of these dangers.
Yeah, I'm liking the way that GX are playing in a lot of these early rounds. So we've heard recently that Cloud has been the one switching to calling, and it definitely seems like maybe his individual performance suffers a little bit, but the team as a whole looks to have quite a bit more structure, a bit more patience in a lot of these late rounds. They are now walking in to the Lion's Den. It's an attempt from Miniboo, but he's not going to get anything with the Guardian.
30 seconds left.
Big Brother is still on site, but I think they're well aware of his position. Surviving this should be impossible. Wu, however, has managed to get one. I don't know how. He must have been running through a smoke. Rien's has been left unchecked. Comes close to getting himself an extra kill, and they've done a small amount of damage, but GX in the early stages have managed to level this up.
Yeah, they've done a really good job. I think especially with those first couple rounds, I was a little bit worried because it was just dominantly swinging in favor of their opponents. And Heretics are the kind of team that you expect to dominantly win this series. So it seemed like we knew what was going to happen, and we got to witness it. But now, a much different story. Even if that shot doesn't hit, there was a showstopper right at his feet, so Miniboo was out of the round. And again, it comes down to some of the things that we criticized, I think, in one of the early rounds. Second round, 5 players alive for Heretics. Woot makes a bit of an over-aggressive play. Boo's not with him, then he goes in. GX haven't looked disjointed, which is something I expected to see here on the attack side, especially with recent changes, especially with recent IGL changes. But it's been clean. You can't explain any of it by what we just saw from Cloud. That was ridiculous, and Famzy has gone for the TP. From the shadows, straight up to A-Heaven. People are turned back to look at him. He wins the fight, and his teammates clear outside because of the paranoia in the back of their minds. Beautiful stuff from GX.
Yeah, they're definitely playing a disruptive style, and right now Heretics are really struggling to deal with it. For Boo and Benji, it almost comes down to an immediate save. Like, trying to get anything from this point onwards would, wow, you'd have to have a certain amount of gall about you, and for GX, already looking to take the lead after a bit of a slow start, a bonus round loss as well. Put yourself 4-3 in the lead is a pretty ridiculous comeback in the early stages of this game.
It really is. And as well as that, for Heretics, it's not as easy as getting ahead of these pushes in the sense that GX are spreading out, looking for map control. They're throwing in some fakes, some little flair that makes it harder to read. I mean, in this round in particular, you're going to see, I assume, many more times this from Cloud, where he's using some of his flashes just to clear up into hookah to make sure he has the space for free. Once he gets it, that. And obviously Seekers online in this round helps out even more, just being able to chase the cabbages. But you can do it with the flashes with the dog as well. And that works beautifully to a guest
team in EMEA right now. And we had 8-3 within the first 7 rounds.
I mean, the fact that he usually plays Duelist is shining through, I suppose.
Yeah, that's true.
Guy's aim isn't too bad. Okay, Prowler off rip. Flash was ready, even used, just to clear it out further. These players are sat back, but that smoke makes it very difficult now for GX to claim this space. They are sending players up, taking the risk of fighting from long towards short. Grouping up. That gets Vitinho through the smoke and sets them up for this fight inside of Hookah. And it's Benji Fishy that's standing strong, looking to hold this angle. Now, Vitinho still has the nade, and I think before a peek goes in, that nade will be swinging to try to push the player out of position. But for now, they're waiting. We had Hoodie on the other side, wall up, orb up, trying to make some noise, trying to cause a distraction, maybe even pull a rotation. And now he's around here with the spike. It looks like we're going to get that B push. And the fight with Benji is finally found, but it's Benji's aggression that gets it done. And the re-swing is his as well. A shutdown of Hookah, and now they're all left alone.
Paranoia. It's not going to catch anyone. Double TP, 2 players taking aggressive pushes. The trade's coming back, but it's still going to be left all onto Hoodie. 1 versus 2. Both players only with pistols remaining, but they're looking to try and take this one together. With Spike in hand, maybe a little bit tentative. They're already moved towards this B site. The thing is that he could go the TP, but it's running out of time. He's going to have to go back for the plant, and they're waiting to see if they can hear that plant before making a single move. This is incredibly patient from the side of Heretics. There was an expectation that he would be spotted. Still a Prowler available as well, so that will leave him stuck in the mud. Every piece of utility that Woot threw out landed on his opponent, and that will be a big round win for Heretics.
That could have been massive for GX as well after Plant getting the Viper's pit online, just recovering that clutch. But instead, Heretics come in, weaknesses across the board. And man like Benji Fishy stood in Hookah, grabbing 2, shutting down the Hookah push, and then assisting on the side. That's just a dream round for him in one where they really shouldn't have had that much of a chance. And to be fair, again, GX do a great job after that. You have one individual performance from Heretics, and then good protocols and trading from GX, but it's just not enough to recover on the disadvantages they already felt.
Yeah, this is always the thing with this Heretics roster, like the depth of talent. Up until that point, Benji had a single kill.
Yeah.
And then just like that, a saved rifle turns the round on its head. Luckily for GX, though, it's not really going to do too much damage to their economy. They're still very comfortable, probably till the end of the half, just with how much they've been able to build up over the last few rounds. Still have that Viper's Pit available, but there is also one to counter on the other side, and they've also got themselves Thrash if they were to need it. An immediate Viper's Pit, but you can see a little bit of a change in pace this time. Purple actually tries to run through the Molotov. He's definitely been a little bit hit and miss in some of these rounds where it's hyper-aggression. It's like they're trying to continuously be disruptive to the side of Heretics, and maybe Heretics are starting to cotton on.
With Purbo down, that seems the shift towards the B site's underway to be long, back towards that corpse, to reclaim the space, retake the fights. Team Heretics don't need to do all too much. Prowler's just now being sent through a bath. Nobody seen there. Pit is in play for mid, so you're not really worried even when that Viper wall goes up from Hoodie. The main thing is, if GX can get boots on the ground of a site, Viper's Pit to completely section off rotations, that could be huge. But getting into this site that they've chosen will not be so easy. Mini Boo's waiting, Boo's on the jump peak, smokes in hand. Rian's about to get contact. It's the little guy that gets a huge tags nade for back as well. He's got to be careful. Those paint shells could take him down, trapped in the corner and dropped, but it serves as a bait. They're not ready for Boo. He's grabbed a 3rd in this round, and just because of him, it's still doable, but left into the hands of Benji and Woot for the retake.
Yeah, the new boy alongside Vitinho, the longest standing member, to try and hold on to this round. GX have done well to sort of recover from the early fight, but being caught out by Boo has definitely left them in a problematic scenario. Both players wrapping round towards that elbow position. Vitinho looking for contact, and he doesn't miss that first shot, knowing now that he has the time, the nade as well. It's left to Woot, and well, Vitinho does it all. Doesn't need the support in the end. GX take the lead again.
Gorgeous stuff. I'm very impressed by what I'm seeing here today. Heretics picking this map, it gave me next to no faith. I came in expecting this GX side to look lost, to be honest. Cloud picking up an IGL role, a couple weeks of prac on that, if even. And then add to that,
Nice! Oh my god!
Famzy,
My
who's
god.
currently 10-4 on the server, playing an agent he's got And again, I think I'm right here, 3 officials on. Like, it's unbelievable. And some of the Omen utility has been a reason he's getting kills. It's not just on the basis of, oh, he's shooting people in the head, so he's very good. I love what I'm seeing from this Giant side, and well, what a time it is to recover for them when tournament life is still kind of on the line, but it's a very thin line.
It's hanging in the balance. The final thread would pull it apart. Woot with a hero rifle. We've seen him have some of the best performances throughout the entirety of Masters Split 2. Now with such an aggressive position, they are rotating towards him. I don't think anybody's going to expect somebody to be this deep, although Cloud actually checks on it. The man is aware that they could have pushed this far forward. That's not a blast back that Miniboo's going to forget for a while. It gets caught out. It seems like Cloud's awareness is there again, waiting for the player on the TP. Comfortable position from him to get his second kill of the round.
That decoy was about to be sent out to make that a little bit more difficult. It won't be used now with a nice shot from Benji. Fishy is second in the round, but the second kill for Heretics. And as he goes down, it's locked into a 6-4 lead. GX, you know, second half still to be seen and so on and so forth, but my goodness, this is a much better face of the roster that we're seeing already, and maybe makes me a little bit less worried about Split, because again, something must have went right in scrims in those 2 days of prac that they feel comfortable picking that map up against Heretics of all teams.
Bro, where is he pushing, bro? I don't understand.
Well, they've won 6 of the last 7 rounds over on that attack side, looking incredibly strong. As said, like, that we've seen some angles that are so aggressive from the side of Heretics, and it seems like GX are more than aware of it. Like, that spot from Wu is not something I think a lot of teams would clear, but they're more than prepared. Seekers are going to be online, a showstopper as well as a Viper's Pit. This is a good-looking round for the side of GX, although there are a couple of ults available for a response on the other side. It seems, though, that the decision from GX is yet to be made. Spike's still down back towards the spawn.
Oh, that was close. Nice try from Purpo. Rians manages to hold on to life late into the round. Those 2 showstoppers online, but on opposite sides of the map, and it's Vitinhos that might be finding a victim. Everybody grouping up by the looks of things. Nobody moving to hookah either. 5-man push from long. Well, I don't think they're going to just commit to that blind. I think there's going to be a rocket leading that charge. And it's Benji Fishy that's in a lot of danger. Here it comes, showstopper used, snake bite down, trying to keep Vitinho back. It has actually slowed him for a moment. The decoy's already burned up, and he's gonna fire it blind. Benji's in the firing line, but it has missed. Went straight past him, good utility to counter it out. Now Benji's on his second, still alive inside the site as Heretics claim back control. There's the swing, and Rien's to close. Beautiful stuff from Heretics. Narrow margin with Miniboo and Rien's 1 bullet away. But they get it done. And now, a chance to equalize it at the end of the half.
There were so many moments. The showstopper blindly shot could have caught something. We saw Benji as well, just like, just fighting for his life. I don't know how he gets away with so much here. But the swarm back from Heretics looked good.
Oh, nice.
But even still, I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's just another blip in the attack side of GX, because I think it's safe to say over the last 8 rounds, they've definitely looked like the better side. Still having some ults to play with. Vitinho just wants to brawl.
Unfortunately for him, it was Miniboo waiting on the other side. A well-placed shot and another few onto Cloud that leave him low. Purpo's claimed the space though. Gate crash used, flash is gone, decoy out. But he's stuck in this corner and they're aware of it. Orbital strike called in just to make sure there was no way out for that man. And with Cloud hanging on to life by a thread, this Viper's Pit might be able to at least even the odds somewhat if Heretics go walking into it. The problem is they don't really need to right now. They've got the numbers to work with. And once that spike goes down, you'll see the TP coming out of Rien's and Benji Fishy.
Nice shot from Famzy. Again, he's been clean with these fights. Still a couple of players left on the other side of the map as well. The problem is spams. Can you get this plant down? Not only without losing a player, but more so without losing too much health. And in fact, no, they don't believe they can. Realizing that there's too much of a gamble with players on the other side. The problem now is you're not really in a better spot here. In fact, it looks significantly worse. And just look at where the remaining player, if they even TP here, They're going to meet the man that is Benji Fishy. 20 seconds left to try and find anything. A haunt to reveal. They know they're still on spot. Fancy trying to play aggressively, but he meets Boo as well. And well, now Hoodie, last man standing. It's the same again. 6-6. A return to begin and end the half for Heretics in the same way, but it has to be said, the middle, the main part was all GX.
It was absolutely perfect. In this round, I feel for Hoodie. The decision-making there, Viper's Pit is up. You think there's a player right where we're seeing this player here, Boo. You think there's someone there, you throw out a snake bite. Maybe they're in it, maybe they're in the lines open up, the round closes. 6-6, decent half out of GX, that's for damn sure. That middle made them look like the better squad. Now they get to be tested here on their defense. For Team Heretics, I think they have a bit of pride to recover. Given 6 away, probably not what they expected coming into today.
Yeah, the problem is a lot of the time you'll see teams force Heretics to start on that attack, and as said, like you're looking at the last, what, 4 times, 9, 10, 8, and 7 rounds. The 7 was actually when they started on defense and won the second half 7-1. So their attack has been their better of the 2. We'll see what GX have to offer.
The last pistol really didn't go GX. We'll ignore that flash, that didn't happen, it's okay. Bug. Something like that. Fatino's done well. Not really. Dropped immediately. Purpo, Famzy in the same fate, and Heretics again managing to just steamroll over this site. I don't think the flash connecting from Purpo would have really helped all too much either. Heretics push out was well timed, and now, well, we're left in a clutch situation where both players are fairly locked out. I think there's even a poison orb blocking spawn.
We have to get back in is not going to be easy. Just look at the positioning as well. Every single member is in a passive off angle, flank being watched just in case. Like, Heretics have always been quite regimented when it comes to these late rounds. Not really a team to give these advantages away. They'll at least be able to find one, but just the time. It's so far gone at this stage that getting this defuse is impossible. And the second they go anywhere near it, Benji is there to recover. 7-6, Heretics reclaim the lead with the second pistol. I also kind of want to look at the stat line for Benji, because as I said, I think in the first, what did I say, 6, 7 rounds, I think he had 1 kill. Yep. Bit of a turnaround.
Hasn't it just? And it's a lot of big rounds. Multi-kills on a site, on the defensive side, obviously. Now we're seeing the same thing here in the pistol. And for GX, well, they're left in a pretty tough spot. Classics might just be that. Not sure we're going to see much more invested into this round. Well, Team Heretics have whatever they want to work with. Although they're going for just 2 rifles, so a very big margin for error. Maybe a response to what they saw in that second round last time. They lost a bit more than they wanted to. Now they can, on the attack, be a little bit more loosey-goosey with it.
If I've learned anything over the last week or so, it doesn't matter what agent, what gun, or what position you put re-ends in, you can still top frag a game. So giving him that Spectre for this round or the next might not be a problem. Flash out, it's going to leave Cloud trying to do a bit of damage. Hoodie has been able to find 1 at least, but it is now just Benji farming up these extra orbs, leaving Vitinho and Purpo sort of locked out of this site. No utility other than the boombot, and I don't even know if you're going to want to use it at this stage. It might just be worth holding that for the next round.
If I'm not mistaken, that might even have been brought through from the pistol. I think the only investment here from GX was Hoodie buying a snake bite. I could be wrong, I might have missed it at the last second, but either way, that snake bite did quite a lot. Slowed down the push slightly, left Miniboo, I think it left him vulnerable, although I did see him take the fight up close and it didn't look like it. Maybe he just blast packed in time. But either way, the result was to try to find an isolated duel. They did with Miniboo. He still grabbed 1 before going down, and in the end, as we said, with the economy that was in play for Team Heretics, the margin for error was wide. They still come through. 2 rifles, a Spectre, and a pistol carried into the next, and a chance to, well, I guess do something with those rifles in this round, but I don't expect too much reinvestment around it.
He just blast packed over it.
Yeah,
it's
just
a little
about.
bit unlucky.
That's rough.
Thank you for the replay.
Well, they are actually reinvesting. And look at the credits. They're very comfortable. Misread from me. 4 rifles, a Spectre, and plenty of cash for the next. Pretty perfect start to the half.
Yeah, I think the only thing missing would maybe they'd hoped all the orbs went into a single player, so you could have an ultimate for this, but
Well,
you're
not getting that one back, buddy.
I don't think that was the intent.
That's like a kid watching the balloon float away into the sky. It's coming back, right, Mom? No, no, son, that one's gone.
Papa, can I get another one? No.
Costs £3 for the helium. Well, Fatino's done well. Wood taken down at the start. A little bit of control for this squad. TP back over to B. Okay, I like this setup. GX have funneled Team Heretics towards the left side of the map, towards B. And well, that's exactly where the stack up is. 2 players on the other side of the orb. Benji is going to have a tough time. What? He got both of them. That is outrageous. 3 versus 3. It's recovered by Hoodie. At least it seems to be. Although the nade was going to take him down. Boo gets their first low HP and dropped. Okay, GX get the round anyways, but I might need to see that one from Benji's perspective. I don't know how he did that.
Yeah, it's like he isolated the first battle. The guy wasn't where he expected, so he had to correct his aim. And then there was a counter swing ready from GX, and he still manages to get that kill. Like, it's just absurd. But again, Hoodie does an incredible job of just holding on while that rotation comes in.
Oh, that's nasty. He just predicts it.
It's got to be infuriating. But yeah, then the solid hold and Fatino there to sort of clean up the mess at the end. As you said though, there's still going to be a comfortable buy going into this one. Benji 2 away from a Viper's pit as well. So it's definitely not going to get any easier here for the side of GX.
No, definitely.
Hey!
I came back this time. You did good, yeah. You did good. Thanks for coming back. Well, Team Heretics, about to see a push coming out on long. It's Benji Fishy that was waiting for it.
He dodged in his chair.
Did he?
Please get me a replay of him dodging in his chair.
Well, Benji's dodged the bullets on the server as well, thankfully.
He's playing like, you know, one of the like, it was like 8D cinema, where it like, the chair moves as well.
I went to see Avatar in 4DX by accident. That was rough. Way of the water, and they spray water on you every time. It was not the summer. But 8-7. Looking to tie it up here for GX. Rifles in hand, early aggression denied, but not punished. That's the key thing. And on the side of Heretics, again, leaning towards B, but with the noise being made outside A, the Prowler in play. You can see this B hold is retracting slightly, and Hoodie, well, he can't quite get the kill on the angle, but the information's all he wanted.
Smokes out. Snake bite to the lane. They're just going to go running into this, but Cloud's holding the line. 2 kills already, but again, it's Benji. Turning the tide, looks to swing forward. His reaction shots today are off the damn charts. And while Pamsy, he's been good. He's been great so far at this matchup. But he's got to try and fight back in for this 1 versus 3. Financially, him and Cloud are the only players that have any money in the bank. So if he's going to make a move, he needs to make sure he comes up with something. Otherwise, they're going to be in trouble financially in the next.
He's going to commit to it. And Wood's timing, good to catch him. Now they've got the information. They're focused in, and Famsy getting out is going to be very difficult. They try to TP out to long, but he's suspicious there could even be a player there. And as he goes to clear it, Boo confirms there's not. 9-7, 2-round gap for Heretics, attack side ball rolling, and economy for GX. Like you said, Tom, losing that rifle, even keeping it through, the next round won't look the prettiest. I want to see this one. Because he's looking through. Yeah. It looked insane from the other perspective as well, from the play. Because you see the gun 90 degrees to the left, and then it's just, boom, it's on you.
Thanks, Dennis. That's good.
Spanish people allowed, so maybe he's just ready for it.
Well, looking for double digits, Team Heretics. Viper's Pit and Thrash. Cloud has his ultimate to work with, but those Seekers not likely to be the first contact. It is Thrash running it down, grabbing one. There's a player behind, but isolated nicely. Clean. And both kills going their way. Team Heretics have claimed the site, the plant, and with only classics for the most part, a very tough retake ahead of the rest of Giants.
Yeah, it's sort of much of a muchness. Nah, Rians won't get his ult back. I don't think that's going to be the deciding factor of this round. It just comes down to damage, because again, the economy is just going to start to bloom for Heretics, and we've already seen, as I said, many a time them truly run away with the attack side versus some of the best opponents in the VCT. Purpo's at least having a little bit of fun. It seems like they're going to throw the classics in and maybe just hope to do a bit of extra damage with the Sheriff, which will be the case. 1 kill, Miniboo will go down, but other than that, just going to go down to the spike.
And that they do. Double digits found for Heretics though, and after that first half from GX, very solid gameplay. They're on the same page. I'm not going to criticize them for not being here. I mean, they have pistols, and even in the rifle rounds, have just been some outrageous individual performances from Heretics that I think swing the pendulum in their favor. The reality is, though, they don't really get to keep falling back on excuses of, oh, well, it's not our fault. We lost that round. They did something cool. At the end of the day, they need to get off this starting point. They've had 1 round so far out of 5, and if this keeps going, there won't be many more chances. Showstopper and Viper's Pit for Heretics in a crucial round. It's tough on GX. They don't have a lot to react with. They're close to so many ultimates, but not close enough.
But he again is battling for that hookah control, but it seems like they're going to go in with the full force of this team. Already tagged up a little bit, could be a problem. Cloud at least found 1. Hoodie's still surviving. Smoke's come in, but the spam is enough. It's going to give them that man advantage. And they're not stopping. Wingman being sent through is going to reveal a player behind. And with a couple low, there's still an opportunity for Vitinho. Once this smoke fades away, there's 1, but he needs more. Trades are immediate. Another from Woot, who's had a quieter game so far. And now Famzy, once again, left into a clutch. He's going to spot out that first. And Boo is just waiting back. TP to reposition. Looking to try and find his counter bar, and he has, but Boo a little bit quicker on that trigger. And Heretics will continue to extend their lead.
Well, again, those point of contact ultimates, the way this old cycle's coming in for Heretics, having Thrash to clear out in the eco to mitigate a lot of those problems, having Showstopper to take out Cloud. Oh, they did. I was wondering. Thank you for the replay, folks. I don't know if that's Andy today, but we'll call them out later. That was insane. So you had 3 players spam up close. You never see anybody do that, but they saw, like, I don't know what that was. The glove of the player just barely peeked through, like a single finger in the smoke, and my goodness, they punished them. Now 11-7, and GX, like we said, economy was rocky. There's a couple of weaknesses here. They have a lot of ultimates that were close last round, now online, now there to work with. And Showstopper used on the back of a Prowler. Vitinho needs to hunt down this kill. Nope. The crowd control's barely worth it in a round like this.
They stimmed him away. They stimmed him away. That's what you call team play. A Brimmy Stimmy to help him escape. The fights traded back and forth. Vitinho now can get back into the site. The Showstopper didn't work, but he's doing the job with the rifle nonetheless. Has a little bit of support, but with that spike down on the deck, they don't need to overextend. No wingman to help them out. As it will start to dissipate. May just wait the 10 seconds to try and have a 3rd member. And instead, maybe expecting a rotation. Look at the almost pincer that's coming in from behind, with GX completely repositioning.
Even with Purpo's spot, they're ready for a TP, but that's not coming through. We can see the plant now, 2 players from behind. They're not together just yet. And Heretics have isolated them just in time. Maybe the second player can be the element of surprise. They shouldn't expect Purpo to be here. Or maybe they won't. Cloud, though, on his way in, has to make a little bit of noise. Purpo needs to regain that control. Sneak his way up the back is being watched nonetheless. It's going to be 2 tough fights and a reveal that gives it away. They know exactly where Cloud is. C's used, and there's the other player spotted. Info now in their hands, and the execution absolutely perfect. 12-7, 1 more for Heretics. This was neck and neck at halftime.
Yeah, again, their attack side always seems to be sublime. The clutch plays we're getting from this team. As I said, you can put any gun in Rien's hands, and I'm confident, but this was just nasty. Like the first kill, and then everything else from then onwards, it's like Woot was just a passenger watching him do everything. All right, Miniboo, all right. 12-7, 5 in a row needed. Something that we did see from GX in the previous half. They're still going to have a bye, but they did use a couple of their ultimates in that last round to very little effect.
Yeah, and low economy here, even affecting Purpo. He would have another flash to go for a more aggressive peek out on B, but it wasn't there. Delays it. Would have had a fight on a flashed mini boo, and who knows how that's going to go. Maybe he'd use another signature blast pack to get out of there. For GX, problems. Orbital strike blocks out a lot of control. Now here comes Viper's Pit, presumably, if Benji can stay alive, which he's done a damn good job of most of the time. Already, 2 players dropped on that defensive side, only for the one on the other side. Here comes Thrash, it's caught? Did it catch the player?
Yeah,
I don't think so. I didn't hear this.
Yeah,
oh, yeah, they did, okay.
Papa from behind. It's being watched. Clean. He doesn't expect a second. Boo's just going to track him on the wallbang into a 2v2. Viper's Pit's being traded as Benji falls. And Hoodie still standing. Rienzi goes in, but he's actually going to go down. It's left to Boo. Another clutch. He's won them all so far, but now has to try and fight versus both players. Looks for the kill onto one of them, but can't quite find the second. There will be enough time, or there should be enough time, for Hoodie to get this defuse over the line, and GX will live to fight another day.
Just about hanging on to control here. 41 HP in the difference, a few bullets. And who knows what we get to see. And little flank up from Purpo. Oh, he was so unlucky, activating the ultimate and then getting shot at just the right time. And that shot onto Rienz, that's something, but the decay always helps out. Headshot nonetheless gets the job done. 12-8. 4 rounds in it. 4 in a row needed for GX. Coming out of that round, the money problems haven't disappeared. Still light shields across the board. 3 Guardians to work with as well. And now, the ult economy not there for either team, although Wood is pretty close to having his Nightfall. And Famzy had some big impact on the ultimate, but harder to do here on the defense.
Yeah, the fact is, in this second half, I think it can't really be argued that GX have definitely needed those ultimates a little bit more. And Heretics, well, I'm almost just waiting for another Benji round. He's had so many in this game so far where it just wins fights that I don't want to say he doesn't deserve, but he shouldn't be able to win. For now, though, they're looking for the aggression. Purpo has been spotted, but he gets away scot-free.
Yeah, the gate crash definitely helps out. Probably a big reason we see him in that position, obviously with no teammates close by to help out. They've got Paranoia ready. As soon as the utility comes out of that choke point and it's clear that Heretics are pushing, Paranoia, swing from Purpo, and hopefully around on the back of it. That's what GX are hoping for, but
They've
Heretics...
given Woot the spike. They want that Nightfall. They'd rather him get that Nightfall than play with the wingman to get them into the afterplant. It definitely has a little bit more risk, but they're going to use it to almost sell the fake. Woot got the ultimate, but it was by a bullet to the head. Won't be using it in this round.
They just committed to that TP, and then they lose their player on site that was supposed to clear all of this out. Cloud still standing strong, 9 rounds on the board, and GX not down and out yet. 3 in a row. It seems manageable, but like you said, Tom, back of your mind, 1 in 3, 1 in 4 rounds, a player like Benji's going to come through. And Andalucia flawless for GX, though, is a good way to start off that comeback.
Yeah, for sure. And the thing is as well, I don't mind the idea from Heretics, but you see the risk of what they're going for. The wingman sort of negates the player having to run into plant. One goes into plant, and Purpo's just playing this risky style. Like, it hasn't worked amazingly well. Like, he's at the bottom of the board of the game for Woot standards. So at any moment, this game could easily flip on its head. So they have to be very careful themselves after that pause.
Yeah, even now, coming in with 2 Sheriffs in play, Heretics have one hell of a chance, especially attack side, 3 rifles. Well, Mini Boo's being dropped immediately. Great job by Fatinho, winning out that duelist fight. Famzy toying with the idea of getting further aggressive. He moves back. They think they've cleared it. They don't think that Boo can even be here. The Paranoia used. Oh, Famzy's still getting work done before he's dropped it. It makes it back to an even scenario. 2 rifles and the ultimate for Woot. Where's it going to be used? Is it going to be used even at this point? They're flooding the backside, just taking the fights, and there's a Woot round for you. A chaotic conclusion to map number 1, but Heretic, Fatinho no longer on the race. Famzy taking it up. We said, you know, you probably do want to trial out different roles. I'm excited about that. I'm more excited about Woot on an ISO now, post-patch.
Yeah, like they tried it out last week. It worked well, but ultimately it's a very different ball game now that you don't get that shield consistently regenerating every time you get a couple of kills. So he's going to have to be a little bit more selective. The time in which you're allowed to hold on to it as well is diminished. I think it's from 20 to 12 seconds, so quite a big hit. But clearly they feel like everything else as a part of the kit is still going to be valuable. And to be honest, in Woot's hands, I wouldn't be overly surprised if that was still the case.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it is still a strong agent, just in terms of the shield being online for most of the round now. Not a case is a welcome change, let's say, especially with some of the players we have on the server. Someone like Woot can do damage, but GX have sent Famzi out to try to fake this B play, try to make them think on the defensive side that the push is going to come down through the spawn, that there's some presence here. In fact, they're already rotating, and Benji proving to be quite difficult to root out of that position.
There's a bit of damage done, but again, well, they are just winning all of these fights in the pistol rounds. Woot,
30 seconds
as
left.
said, shield not going to last as long, but when he's healthy, it doesn't really matter as much. Already see the rotation coming through. Finally, Woot will be dealt with, but they are running out of time. They need to get a move on, and actually that kill could make a difference. A full sprint to the other side of the map should give them enough time to get the plant down and actually play this 2v3 after plant.
Yeah, that is a saving grace of a kill. Boot just looking the wrong way, and now the same thing happens, but Rien's on 4 health recovers it. That's 1 extra man alive for this 1 versus 2. A tougher task for Fatinho. Rien's will be easy to take down, but Benji on the back of it, and now they've got the information. They know exactly where Fatinho is. He moves away from the stun, gets out just in time to catch the first, but the shots don't connect. Not for him, at least. It's Benji Fishy with another multi-frag round and a pistol under Team Heretics' belt.
He's in form today. It's the 3rd pistol that they've won. It's another high-impact round from Benji, starting it off with the sight hold. And a decent recovery, though, in all honesty. Like, this was a round that was looking all but done with no hope, and then a little bit of a turnaround from Famzi and Fatinho. Even still, though, I think that's the thing. Famzi coming in, playing over on the Omen, you're not thinking about other things you've lost. And that's the thing. In this situation, I'm going to look at both of them, because Fatinho's Raze on this map has always been solid, or Raze in general. His Omen, don't know what to expect. It's the same with a lot of things we've been seeing him play recently.
I like it. I think it's a big part, though, being able to be flexible in a team. Cloud, well, had the same thing in the last map. One of the early rounds, spammed straight through the smoke and dropped down. Boo's got heaven control. He's about to be challenged, but he's creating a little bit of extra space alongside his teammate. And the main thing here, you just don't want to see fights isolated, where many of those GX players can overwhelm someone, because the weaponry they've brought to bear is not the best. Both players coming from mid, though, are rocking Sheriffs. So a tougher fight for Rien's. They're waiting it. The hope here is that the rotation comes in from Heretics eventually. It hasn't, but Miniboo has found himself in the open. 2 kills for Hoodie, and all of a sudden, this round is in contention. A 3rd for Hoodie. Shots are magnetized here, straight to the head, and Heretics, well, they're in a huge disadvantage on the way back in.
Yeah, they bought a lot of rifles into this round as well, 4, I believe, so they are now in a problematic scenario of not only taking a massive hit, but also the round slipping away. Boo is already going to TP across, trying to find another angle to fight from, but Purple, while blind, is still going to take the fight, and Famzi will close out the pay safe card Thrifty with a round for GX.
Well, that is quite the surprise of a follow-up, I have to say. And a lot of that comes down to those 2 kills up in heaven. They were locked out of any control, with players ready to pounce the second contact was found. And after that first, yeah, it doesn't... See, even at the map, I thought Miniboo was down below. This wasn't a thought in my head, but he was up top on the corner, looking to take that fight. And if Hoodie finds that and manages to reset onto the player in spawn, there really is not a lot that you can do.
Now it's their chance to try and respond. Last time GX played this map, this was the amount of rounds they got. Slight improvement. did it a little bit quicker than when they played against Gentlemates. But again, I feel like they got boomed. The composition they were running, the Killjoy definitely didn't seem to have the impact that they were looking for either. I think they've gone back to the drawing board, back to something a little bit more basic. I don't even know how Miniboo has managed to get that shot with a wall bang from there, but they're going to take that all day long. Boo trying to play an off angle so low on HP that taking a straight up fight wouldn't be ideal. For GX already, the time halfway gone, but they are going in the right direction.
Yeah, an unlucky gamble by Heretics. They're playing towards the site with the more Cypher with the Cypher utility rather, not more of it. I suppose there is more, but more than none isn't that impressive. The B side then left open after the kill onto Boo. It's a shame. It makes sense though with these weaker weapons if they go through your Cypher util and you've got players to pounce on the traps, on the reveals from the cam. That's huge. Instead, it's going to be a retake attempt. They've denied plant for a moment, but that little bit of time probably won't really play a role in terms of catching the players going back. They're just going to sit on the side and allow these pistols to start funneling through. Flash that's not executed on. Rienz has one more to work with. It did get the players out of heaven to start with, and now it gets them closer to the site. I like this. Woot back up with his shield to work with, but 2 shots to the body and he'll be down and out. There it is. Cloud closing it with Hoodie. And Miniboo had it all to do. 2-1. And a good resurgence from GX after losing the pistol, now finding the lead in their hands.
Yeah, and definitely with it getting a little bit shaky in the middle, the fact that they're able to rectify things quite quick is definitely a solid sign. That's just Phil. Yeah. Like, it's actually... when I see him do things like that, it really makes me feel old, because I'm like, is my eyesight that bad? Yeah. Or does he just have like binocular vision to just see something through such a small gap?
I swear I see the kill on the kill feed before I see him shoot. Like before I see the person peek. I don't know how they do it, but it's damn impressive.
Immediate aggression. It's always going to be something when playing this double duelist, but more so with this Neon. You can delay with the stun, but the expectations are that you're going to have to be pushing, you're going to have to be taking space. And you can see the operator bought in very early. High expectation of this aggression from the side of GX, so they're just letting Purpo roam, look for someone to make a mistake, and there it is. Miniboo, not expecting an operator. Why would you?
Oh, it's a big hit. Miniboo down. That pixel angle from last round not replicated here. GX get to stack themselves up and look to execute a side now on the back of it. At least that seems to be the call. Benji Fishy and Miniboo towards this side. Traps on the way out of the choke point, and then on the actual side itself, Cam watching and spotting for those feet as they make their way up into heaven or down below. So it's a good position to play from. The first trap denied, and Boo shot through the smoke. He wasn't even firing back. Benji knows there's one up top. His trap's protecting down below, and he corrects just in time to take down Purpo. There's the trap on the flash as well. Great flash from Rienz. That's got a free kill for Benji, and a chance for more, but that chance fades. Now down to just Hoodie though. 21 HP on Rienz. Woot still alive, but I don't think he's got a shield to work with. Oh, nice shot from Hoodie! It's doable! It's winnable! He's still trying to replicate that success with the wall bangs, and it was close, but not quite close enough.
Again, I feel like another round where you just have to put the focus on Benji and his sight holds. Just being able to get so much there. It did kind of look like the ult was about to take a player, and he kills him before he even gets taken. It was like, there's a bit of a weird sort of visual effect. I don't know if it was Famzy who ends up getting dragged, but it's like, look, the ult goes in, he swings, but I think it took Famzy at the same time. So Famzy gets taken as he gets that kill with the trip. The ult perfectly placed together. And well, again, you give Woot a 1v1. He's winning the 1v1. Like, whoever gets taken each time is going to go, ah.
Well, that's it. That's it right there.
Guys, I'm dead. So, but he's still, yeah, it doesn't come up in the kill video. I'm dead.
It's especially because he pops his shield. Like, the guy gets a second shot at you. It's just ridiculous. And yeah, for the side of Heretics, a solid round to win. Rienz's supportive utility has been beautiful. We saw Benji Fishy reposition those traps now, avoiding the early nade on A in the future. So there's one deeper, and then that same trap, but up top this time to catch the jet dash through. I like it. Changing up that side for utility, a big part of keeping your opponents on their toes.
Yeah, I think the bigger problem, though, is the fact that that round was so costly. It comes down to one player, especially after you've lost the second and the third round after winning the pistol. It puts your economy in the bin. So for Heretics right now, they're right on the brink, and you can see the buy that's come up. Like, GX still have an operator. They still have rifles across the board and a showstopper. So you'd say they're firmly in favor this round. Again, we're going to see different control taken. A battle into mid. Paranoia through immediately. The stun is great, but the first kill still goes in the other direction. Now Famzy is going to eliminate Miniboo from the round. Instead, though, they're going to try and run back in, and there's only one man in their way.
30 seconds.
Yeah, but this man has stopped them many times in the past. A tough task. He finds the first. Cage up, sneaking forward, isolating a duel, but he doesn't know that. But he's managed it. And now the spike. Oh, another for Benji. It's spike up close. The other further away. Nade thrown through. Benji's reposition. He doesn't want to go down in this fight. Instead, looking to fight a little bit later. He knows exactly where Famzy is. Plant will not be denied. Rifle recovered. Off the Guardian into the Vandal. Those headshots needed, though, on 62 HP. It's going to be a very close fight if they can get the gun pointed in the right direction. But Benji's got another. The ace on the cards, but Cloud denies it. Oh, wow. This round was looking done and dusted, but Benji brought it back to life, even just for a moment.
New strat. Find where Benji is and don't go that way. Because the thing is, you look at this round, it's like everything that was done by GX was perfect. And they win it in the end. But dear Lord, is this man in form today. Just isolating fight after fight. The trip actually catching multiple players. Famzy kind of caught in no man's land. That did give me mass anxiety.
Oh my God.
I mean, we enjoyed it that much too, Benji.
Props to Famzy as well. Sure, he gets caught in no man's land in the last fight. It's a little unfortunate, but the reality is he was the one finding those kills on the B players rotating. If he doesn't do that, round is over. It's already done because Benji still gets that big play. Famzy's not there to support, and two players are running into heaven to help out. So he really saved the day and put 3 on the board for GX. Now facing off against Sheriffs as well. A chance to double up their lead to 4-2. And not a chance that they will be looking to throw away anytime soon.
No, they've had moments where rounds have slipped away.
Oh, that's
and we know as well that this Heretics roster, even with the pistols, could be dangerous. Miniboo close to having the overdrive as well. So they definitely have to be careful. Rolling Thunder available with just a singular orb. Looking at Benji's position, the thing is, this spot that he's in should only be good for one. An operator pushing solo into the site is such a gamble. And what, a 1-for-1 trade on Benji Fishy? Oh, you take those.
Yeah, you definitely don't get those every day. The other advantage here being that ultimate. As they got the kill, Hoodie can use the body to find the positions of every player. They get into the site quickly. The nades doing damage. Miniboo down to just 39. Woot's tagged as well. Looks very manageable for this attacking side as they now look to plant it. Not much resistance. Boo does manage to do some serious damage, and they're conscious of a player coming in through heaven. Good reads from these defensive players, and they're not just diving in. Instead, spreading a wide net to try to isolate duels. Unfortunately, Purpo was very ready for that, and with 5 HP, Boo didn't stand that much of a chance. They have managed to put that 2-round buffer in play. Now, Heretics get the rifles out.
It's a map that last time we saw this played by Heretics, they won it 13-6 before that, a 13-3 loss. But that was Genji in one of the bigger games, I'd say. Nice. One of the bigger games of the year so far.
Good job. Nice trade, Aro. Молодец. Good job, boys.
And similarly to the last map, we're going to see a relatively early pause coming. Even if this, for him, just ends up being a showcase for what he can do.
Oh, yeah.
This, for Famzy, this is a great opportunity.
Yeah, for what you can do at the top level within VCT.
Versus
against
Heretics.
The top team in the region. Yeah, that's a pretty big statement. You can bring that scoreboard up anytime there's a ranked dispute. Just go to this webpage, have a look. For GX, also reigniting that flame inside this squad. They've had so many tough games, man, throughout the season, and it's, like we've said many times, it's not over for them yet. It may be effectively, but there is always a chance. Well, not always. Next week, check in and we'll find out. Famzy dropped right off rip. Good opening pick for Rienz, denying the mid control and splitting GX. They're now 2-2 across the map. Vitinho doesn't have ult, so it's not a faster rotate round. Instead, expect the brakes to be pumped, but with 58 seconds on the clock, they have to make a decision on where they want to go. And it looks like the spike will be reconvening with these B players. Again, though, they are walking into Benji's site. He swapped it up. And they might find, well, they've seen the trap. I wonder if they second guess it now.
Yeah, he's someone that has been tough to beat. I'd say Famzy as well has done very well on rotations. Like, he's been playing mid quite often in these rounds as the sort of secondary duelist at times. Trip spotted, immediate swing from Boo, and actually a rolling thunder thrown in. It hasn't connected onto Hoodie though. He's been fighting tooth and nail this game so far, but this is not looking like one of the best scenarios. Vitinho, though's making it competitive. The problem is the time. They've only got 14 seconds left and the spike is up top, so getting anything from here onwards isn't going to be possible.
Exactly, yeah. That spike dropping in heaven and the players thinned out, Hoodie falling, it's over at that point. And they've realized that the call's being made, the save is in full effect. For GX, there will be no denial coming through from their opponents. Heretics are tucked in, allowing them to carry the weapons forward. Gap narrows down to 1. And I guess the scary thing as well, Tom, is what we saw in the last map, where it's a hyper-competitive first half, and then it just swings completely out of GX's control. And I guess until I see that 13 on the board, the question is, do they have enough gas in the tank, especially without many protocols, without a deep strap book to fall back on in their current state?
Yeah, I think as well, again, similarly to the last map, we've seen one of the, star players of the Heretics roster just be quiet. Like, we've seen nothing from Miniboo. And it's like, in a lot of cases, you could see that as a blessing, but it's almost the curse of when he comes back. Not if. And that's when a game can change. Famzy is just, like, this is what I mean. The battle between him and Miniboo so far has been very one-sided. Miniboo's on 25 HP, and he hasn't seen anyone yet.
And I think the idea might have been to pop a paranoia from Boo on contact when the vent players come up and then swing in as Miniboo. He won't be doing that now on 25 HP. He has to play a bit more reserved. Well, I say has to. Most players would have to. He has decided to not go charging through. The Rolling Thunder respected as B site control will be taken. Famzy does well to drop Boo. He's looking for a bit more. Saw a player trapped in the corner. Hoodie picks up the angle and closes it. Oh, Miniboo! 25 HP, 2 kills. Not bad. It's left Benji in a doable position, and this guy, he always seems good for a 3K. This does seem like a little bit too much to ask, and with a big swing on backside, GX lock it in.
Yeah, another good round from them. I think just having that Rolling Thunder, always going to help you to clear out the site. And it did seem like Heretics had a good read, both players up towards heaven, but they were very aware of where those players were likely going to be coming from. Decent at isolating the Jaws, and yeah, Miniboo does well to at least do some damage, especially with how low he was, but there just wasn't much that could be done. And that's the thing, I feel like a lot of what we're seeing at the moment from Heretics is a lot more individual bases. It's going to happen with this composition. Like, it's harder for you to combine ISO and Miniboo's utility, but see what he can do in this round. Immediate ultimate pop, nobody seen. If it's not going to run out, he needs to get sprinting.
Straight into the A site. Those traps not there this time. It's free space. Woo, good to grab one, but as the shield comes back, it goes right back down. Miniboo, good stun, great stun. In fact, lots of players caught, but Cloud clean on the angle to drop him. And in the end, protocols work for GX, trading out the fights until there's no one left. 6 on the board, doubling that of what Heretics have to play with, and again, fielding a very good opening half to the map.
Yeah, I think we're seeing the difference of them being able to get the second round. Because the last time you had that pistol as a boost, the last couple of rounds go the way of Heretics, and then it equals out as an even half. In this case, being able to break back early, looking like a much better display just on the scoreboard. I don't think the way that they're playing this first half is that different from what we saw in the last map. It's just having the pistol really gives you that extra little bit of a boost for the side of Heretics. And while the confidence of this double duelist is continuing to thrive, great paranoia, but even still, it's only a 1-for-1.
And even then, the damage done might make that a little bit more favored to the other side. 8 HP left on Rienz. Ultimates, maybe Woot can try to even the numbers. Even then, though, going to be a slower approach from GX. They are moving towards Woot, and I was implying he might even the numbers with his ultimate, although I think he's going to get open in contact, and based on some of the shots we saw hit earlier, I'm not so confident GX will get out of this one scot-free. Oh, it's all based on timing, I guess, if he swings out, but yeah, he is trained in on the angle, and Purpose found out the hard way that that spot was being held.
Having that ultimate as well. At any moment, he can make things awkward for them. They try and go for the plant. He can steal that player away, and they have to be wary of that when it comes down to the time. It does seem like there's a bit of a gap for them to play around in heaven. It is being watched by Rians, but bear in mind, he is on 8 HP. So he can't go peeking, he can't go fighting. But I am now just getting wary about that plant. 20 seconds up and coming on the clock. If he catches that player, they're in trouble, but they try and isolate them from behind, and they've done fantastically well. Spike will be retrieved, there's enough time to get back towards the site, and keeping that in a 2v2 and removing Woot is so important.
The ult could come in right now if he was still alive and deny that plant. The shield was online as well. It would have been an absolute disaster, but instead, GX have come out of this one smelling the daisies. Both on site.
Cover going out.
Even a trap for elbow. A trap for behind, but that doesn't help when they can come down from heaven. That's exactly what has happened. We can see that with Boo. I'll suspect both of these players to be here now. There's not many other spots they can be in as they clear out backside and drop. Or drop in front side. Now it's backside to work with, and that's exactly where GX are waiting. 7 on the board. These foundations being built upon, and GX with a much fresher face on split than I was expecting. It's been a day of surprises out of this squad.
I think the mid-rounding there was fantastic. Like, I think the only major worry I have for them after the initial fights was, okay, if Woot has that ultimate available and you have 20 seconds, you lose. Because he is just going to try and either steal the planter or steal the player protecting the plant. So what they do is they take heaven control and they isolate him before he can even get anywhere near using that ultimate. It's a bit of a risk because you don't know how many players are there, but it was one way to ensure that that scenario didn't happen, and that's just a great call in the end from GX.
Well, Fatinho has gone straight into the spawn. He's seen Redgar play this map enough, and well, it's worked out. Great paranoia. The catches Boo, leaves Purpo with the kill, and sends the B site firmly into the control of GX. Shield activated by Woot. That means he's planning to go, 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 and well, Mini Boo's already found one with Woot. Dueling them on the back of the site, refreshing his shield perhaps, but now he's down. Left all onto Mini Boo, tagged through the smoke, 6 HP, holding on by a thread, 2 bullets, 1 bullet, and no bullets.
Almost knifed.
Down and out at 8-3.
Oh, he wanted to try and throw a little bit of BM, but you can understand it. This has been a fantastic half for the side of GX, and I definitely think we're witnessing some of the weaknesses on the defensive half of that composition. Obviously, we've seen the nerf of ISO, but again, a lot of it is not so much the changes. Like, it feels like Woot has been in the right place with the shield online, but he's just being dominated by the team play. Like, a couple of bullets hit you, it doesn't matter. And I think the other major issue is just there isn't the same interplay that we've seen from the likes of GX, Famzy being able to take those early fights, having Purpo alongside him. This double duelist looks nasty, and he's gonna get caught. I don't think he gets, does he get to keep the showstopper or is it gone? I think it's gone, so.
No abilities in this realm.
That's so cursed. You use the showstopper, then you lose it.
That's a harsh punishment, and then Woot's still walking around, shield online from that kill, taking down Cloud. He's got another 12 to work with, and he'll find his third. Benji then strikes from behind, the second man in the same position. Gorgeous round coming out of Heretics, and that's one that we wanted to see from Woot, managing to get the ball rolling just at the end of the half. 8-4, and with their pistol success rate, Heretics might be able to get right back into this.
That's like the worst way to lose a round. Is you pop your showstopper, it gets stolen from you, and then you die, and you give him a shield, and then he gets to go straight back into the fight. Like, come on, man.
Nice,
That's not
Let's
fair.
go! Really good holds. Really, really good.
Yeah, it's a great told.
Great told. Yeah, you're gonna call him out? You know, Tom, everybody makes mistakes.
It's not his first language.
Everyone says the wrong words sometimes, okay? Sometimes it's a quick mistake, sometimes it's a brief mistake, but there's many mistakes to be made.
Sometimes it's a meow.
It can be, occasionally. Luckily, we're not cast a mystic today, so. We'll have none of that. It was right here it happened. You remember, Tom? 8-4. GX pistol round. This is one that they want. If they're going to close this out, bring us to a map 3, this is where they start to pick up those rounds to make it possible. Nade is good. Sends them running back. Woot down to 55. Shield already canceled out. Very good early round from GX. I'm a bit concerned about this Heaven fight, though. A lot of pressure on Cloud and so much utility sends it back, and now Purpo's crunched on. Famsi, though, does well to pick up one. That was, I think, even through the smoke, and Purpo, blinded up, is still going! Surviving with another dash and tripling up! He's got another chance! A stun! It's perfect! The spray, not so much, but the job is done. Purpo has found them a pistol round, unless Benji's got another big play up his sleeve.
It was a 1v5 before, he got 4. Now 1v4, but you can see them gathering up. A 3-man stack, all coming in from behind. No chance of Purpo's there to close it. It looked like that man should have been dead 6 or 7 times in that round. Instead, he gives them their first pistol and a 4K to take them to 9 rounds. I'll be honest, coming into today, I thought they had no chance of getting a map, especially when I saw this veto. I was thinking, you've come into a map you've not won all year. You lost 13-1 the last time you played it with a new player. You're swapping Fatidio onto an Omen.
Here.
Right now, 9-4 up, looking great.
It was the replay we saw there made it look like Purpo was playing a game of pin the tail on the donkey. Is that the official name? I don't know, but I think everyone gets what I'm talking about. He was blind, then he got a 0.1 second glimpse of where the player was, breach flash hit, and he somehow flicked onto their head. Like, I don't know how he did that. He couldn't see a damn thing when he shot the bullet, but wow, an impressive shot out of him in a very big round. Now they have to build upon it. Purpo, somehow the man left with a ghost, but I suppose after his performance last round, maybe that's his main weapon.
Why not? Why not? It means he can be aggressive with little risk, work towards the Blade Storm, and it's not like he was missing too many shots in the previous round. For the other side, a fair few Sheriffs. Gives them a better chance of at least making this round costly. Seems like Purpo is going to be that main point of contact. Not a lot of utility to play with here. They do still have that shield to sort of give them the initial fight already, though. Purpo's going to be able to get the opener a little bit more. It's the same as the last round. Just landing every bullet that's put in front of him. One away from that Blade Storm now. He can even run in and die just to make sure that that ultimate will be available. And while there's a little bit of cost, a little bit of damage, it won't matter in the end.
Very nicely cleaned up by GX. And Purpo's somehow surviving that round as well. This guy has been a little ridiculous. I also like his reaction. You hear the shield activate, and he just falls back. Lets the first man go through. You know that's going to be the one with the shield. You know if you swing him, you're going to take his shield down, and 4 people are going to shoot you in the head. So instead he lets him go through, then thrives into chaos as the rest of the middle of the pack has to turn and adjust. Beautiful stuff. Here. Operator in hand for Purpo now. A bit of an upgrade on the last round, but that flash has caught him, and the Bulldog not going to get the kill, although Famsi is the one that's traded out on top ramp. The Op is still alive, but barely surviving on 26 HP, and it was a shielded Woot that he came up against. Not the weapon for it.
No, chances slimmed out. And the investment into that operator, a bit of a costly one, but one that, because he only had the ghost in the last round, is absolutely fine. Means he has Blade Storm for next as well, so really not that much of a gamble for Purpo. And now we look at the other players still with decent weaponry. Even just dropping a couple more would bring them ever closer to that victory in the next. Even still though. 3 players pushing up together. A trip will give the game away, but it's whether or not the rest look to pounce on it. There's a stun and a paranoia available for the 2 players currently in that vent room. They could make things pretty awkward for Heretics.
My eyes are down.
See if Hoodie can match the performance of the Cypher on the other side. If he even gets a chance, spike down, they have to go back up into heaven, and that might be Hoodie's chance to strike. The trip destroyed. Oh, but on the swing, Woot drops him. They spot a player up top too. That's an interesting peek, not one I've seen before, but Patino's there as well. 2 players holding onto that spike with 12 seconds left. Here comes the cavalry. The rope to distract Fatinho, good for 1, but now being hunted down by the final 2, doing damage. 6 seconds, plant coming in, it's protected, but Fatinho's got him. The swing here could be everything. He knows the players behind the box, and the spam is enough. 3 kills and an 11th round locked in for GX.
I think he's just giving him a little kiss on the head. That was a big round from Fatinho, and again, proving the depth of this man's agent pool in the Red Bull clutch. We've seen him play so many different roles this year after being a superstar duelist for the majority. But he's currently top of the board. An unbelievable couple of rounds from him, and this was the thing. Just losing that spike, again, a bit of an oversight, being caught with their backs turned. Fatinho just able with the last few bullets to take it over the line. 11-4, a dominant looking map now for GX as they have finally been able to do a little bit better in the early conversions, and the difference is paramount.
If it wasn't the player with the spike drop there, different reality that we reside in, but Team Heretics not having the easiest of times, really being challenged by GX, by Fatinho in particular. What a round from him already. Paranoia into the shot. Oh no, Boo's a little closer than they expected. So is Woot. And now it gets a little bit dangerous because Woot, once he starts, he doesn't stop. Ultimate used as well. Back up to full health. A good fight for this man. And the duel is not his. Despite a lick of damage, he was a bullet away. But that's enough this time in the op coming around the back. That could be the difference maker. There is a player holding him, but Rienz needs to be quick on this shot, and quick he will be. My goodness.
And now it's down to the man who survived a Woot 1v1. You'd think the hard work was done, but still 2 players left to find. He has no idea. What? Still manages to win the battle, and somehow was even given a chance versus Rienz. It comes down to another clutch scenario, and well, just about Heretics get it over the line.
Well, I guess it's that old phrase that the greatest swordsman in the world doesn't fear the second best, he fears the worst, because he'll do things he just doesn't expect. I mean, the guy straight out diving out of heaven, jumping on your head, it's not the play you envision when you're down below, so I understand not being able to connect the shots, and well, I know for a fact we're going to see it in the replay. Yeah, close fight for Woot. Not quite, though. Here it is. Well, Boo, I don't blame you. He got a little bit of a jump scare, I suppose. Fitting for him to get that.
He's been counter-booed. 11-5.
It's a Mario Kart noise. Took your abilities away.
Money, not great. Purpo with a Blade Storm. A little bit of delay from the nade. This is going to bring every single member at least in the direction of the A site. He has decided to go back and chill with his utility, but for Heretics, they can opt to try and slow this down. You can see Boo on the other side of the map, but ultimately at this point, he is the only man there. The game plan hasn't changed. Unfortunately, the stack has.
I wonder if some of that is just how loud they were being on ramp. They go up, put a trap, there's a dude spamming for ages, and you just start to think, well, this is a little bit too telegraphed. Perhaps they're just trying to sell a fake. Well, with the stack up on B, they found out that they chose the wrong spot, and my goodness, not great. Blade Storm doesn't land that much. Shot from Famzy connects onto some of the damage of Woot, but it's a 3 versus 4. GX way behind, no rifles to work with. These Sheriffs will need to find their mark pretty quickly for them to have a shot, especially with a Rolling Thunder in play, albeit that we can see that that Rolling Thunder is on the site, so a little easier to isolate perhaps, not used for the post plant. Problem is, you're gonna have to get to that site first, and okay, they've got the information. The element of surprise certainly not working out for Heretics, and some of these fights, suboptimal to say the... Thank you for illustrating the point I was making. Evidently, they can hear me, and they did that just for us. I'd like to believe that rather than think that's any alternative. There's a player behind him shooting, so it's all a distraction play.
Don't replay.
It's okay.
Don't replay. I don't want to see that again. I'll close my eyes. It's just grim.
There we go. See, look, player swinging behind. So he's just baiting for him. Everything's okay. He's not throwing.
He's baiting for him against a pistol when his teammate could have swung even if he just took the fight normally. He didn't need to do that. There was literally no need.
Just styling
oh
on it,
dear. That's a lot of util thrown in early that catches Purpo, but He's able to get away with it. I don't know. A lot of the peaks we're seeing right now from Heretics just don't feel like the same confident, plucky team we've seen for the rest of the year. Like, that could have been an easy opener, but a little bit more passive. And on the other side of things, you can see that GX are more than ready to try and re-aggress. In fact, they're going to go in together. And, well, it's only a trade, but that's Woot out of the picture.
Yeah, only a trade, but when it's Woot on ISO taken down, that's a trade you'll certainly be happy to have. Showstopper in play as well for Famzy if things get a little bit wild. The Heretics side are looking to move towards him. Not many from down below, though. It's going to be mostly a Heaven play with Rolling Thunder focused towards main. A gamble from them, thinking the space would still be taken, but it hasn't been. Paranoia. Showstopper not landing, not getting the kills, at least some damage, but the position of Cloud catches them off guard. 2 kills in his position, and it looks like it might just be done and dusted with Rienz catching the teleport. That's a disaster, but he doesn't know where the last player is. Hoodie has the element of surprise. He has the jump on him, and he has the kill. Beautiful stuff. 12-6, and 6 in a row on the attack side needed for Heretics. This is looking like a haven.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it as well. Like, it hasn't been something that we've seen much of as of yet. Couple of teams running it, but I'm sure there's going to be a lot of different ideas with the current duelist meta and with a lot of sort of variation coming in with a lot of the comps. I'm also intrigued for GX with only having a couple of days of practice, what they have come up with. Like, if it is just going to be an all-out brawl, and for Heretics being one of the sort of like having some really strong,
that they won't find those openings, those advantages, and be able to close it out. This needs to be a perfect 6 in a row for Team Heretics, and realistically, if there is a team to do it right now, this would be the squad. Starting it out with a Sheriff on Boo, rifles on the rest, ult for Mini Boo. This attack side has been running into a brick wall a lot of the time.
I'd argue maybe Fnatic would be the team to do it. But
I suppose, yes. But now,
I see your
nowadays.
point. I see your point. Aggressive from Purpo, and Woot will meet in return. Now, with a weapon missing, this could be a gun into Boo's hands. The Boo brothers have had one of their rougher collective performances. I like that, actually using the shield to cover both. But it has now dissipated. And one of the big changes as well is even if Woot gets a couple of kills, it doesn't come back. He doesn't get it. He's not able to use it going forward, which was probably the bit that made it a little bit too overpowered.
Especially because I believe they counted up even while the shield was active. So you get 2 kills with the shield, you can use the shield later. That's insane. Whereas at this point...
Well, you could also use it before the shield ran out. So it really is just absurd. For Woot, it doesn't seem to matter. They've missed Car, but Woot didn't. A double take on the angle.
30 seconds left.
Another big multi-frag from him, and, well, it's going to be an attempt to take the orb.
Spike planted.
Actually, they've got to be a little bit careful, because Benji's lurking about.
Yeah, at this point, he's hearing the steps towards Heaven, and actually, I think he will have been close enough to realize that player didn't run away. So they know, or they will know fairly soon, that GX are saving. The question is, you take a look down at this the sidebar. Each player's below 1,000 credits, at least on the attacking side. There's a little bit of cash on Hoodie for GX, but the point is they might want to drop these weapons out of GX's hands, but they also have to consider the cost to their own economy. They do lose a couple of players. Boo's not considering a damn thing. He's running it down, and that's Hoodie dropped already. 1 rifle to be carried through, potentially a buy from Hoodie, but a rough position for the rest of the squad. A chance for 2 in a row, and to get the ball rolling for the attackers.
Yeah, we haven't seen much more than that thus far, but it's a big round from Woot that ultimately makes the difference, and yeah, it doesn't seem like there'll be much investment on the rest of the players. I like that from GX. Ultimately, you don't need to overdo it in this sort of round. Like, you have rounds to play with. You don't want to end up having a hindrance on future rounds.
I'm out of here.
By the looks of it, though, they're going to immediately attempt to try and get aggressive. It's more of just a ruse. The problem is Boo has just TP'd into the back of the site, so any ruse that was there has quickly dissipated.
You and me.
Well, there's the ultimate used, and the player dragged in. It has got a rifle. That's actually the only rifle, and now it's gone. Just like that. Well, Famzy down and out. Attempted play onto Woot. That does not work. Cloud, though, he's putting in a shift on the back of the site. Damage done to Purpo. I think this one might just be closed out with a damage on the Hoodie. 20 HP. Stray bullet will take him down. Shield on Woot. Ring a Rosie, and he's caught them. A little bit by surprise on that swing, but it's not worked out. Now, they did save money over on Hoodie, so a big factor of this next round for GX should be an operator. I believe that will go on to Purpo. We'll see if it's dropped over. It's already been dropped over. So, yes, they're going to be playing the operator in the next.
Yeah, the thing is with Woot taking a lot of these early fights, the operator's value is seriously diminished. Like, if he's going to be swinging the angle, you hit him with the op, it doesn't matter. You can hit him with 1 damage from a nade or the full 150 with an op, he's going to take 0 damage. So that's the bigger issue, is there almost needs to be something put into place to make this have effect. And while straight away he's going to go for that aggressive fight. He may have taken the shield away, I think he has. And actually Cloud's followed up, there you go. I guess he gets away with it.
Well, 17 HP, quite a price to pay, but Woot is out of the round. And even just looking at the previous round and how quickly he was able to break open this B-site defense, granted with not the best of weapons, but it's a good thing to have him down in the dirt for that defensive side. Operator as well, on 17 health or not, they're going to be swinging into him, and that gives Purpo a chance to make this life worth a little bit more. Although, the only thing I will say, Tom, is again, look at the rotations. Famzy's moved to B. Cloud was just outside of heaven, shot missed by Purpo, and now he's in a lot of trouble. Here comes Miniboo sliding through, but Cloud again able to catch them on the side angle.
Yeah, they don't need to overextend here either. They have that man advantage.
Exactly where you are.
Information will be collected. I think the main issue, that Rolling Thunder, but more so clearing out Boo. He's always lurking around these positions in heaven. It's something that GX should be more than aware of. He's done it in plenty of rounds.
Especially with Neural Theft online, but the Rolling Thunder might make this difficult. It hasn't actually caught the player furthest back. Hoodie was just out of range. Another smoke goes down. Trap on the way out, and Benji swung! Caught them completely off guard! That's 4 kills for Benji! This guy is unbelievable! How did it, so many rounds? He just has this perfect read on exactly when to peek. You had Breach up close, looking at the trap, about to shoot it, while Famzy throws in a nade, and that's the exact moment that he goes in. Unbelievable.
Does Hoodie even survive? It's going to be incredibly close, and no, Boo's there to close it. I think a shout-out needs to go to Boo as well with the one-way. Like, just being able to create such an awkward angle for them to fight through. And credit to Cloud as well. Like, counter utility, they had a plan from the get-go. He kept things in a good position, but yeah, that's the smoke. That's the smoke that changes the round. Sure, Benji starts to hit the shot, still has to get the timing dead on, but that smoke just in the moment was absolutely sublime. The round's now down from 6 to 3. Smirk's even starting to slip onto the faces of...
For the attacking side of Heretics to face off against. And remember, you know, in the last 3 rounds or so, we've seen them use all their ultimates. So for the attackers, that was potentially the easier part now behind them. Their opponents are going to start to get more money, have ultimates coming online, and then, well, that's probably when we see 13. Still a long road for Heretics with 3 in a row.
Pushing up from Miniboo. There's still danger in this round.
I'm out of here.
Purpo definitely is the primary, but they're more so just looking to try and take that space. We've even seen them investing some of their ultimates in lower purchase rounds just to try and convert them, but that won't be the case here. Not a single ultimate even remotely close, and with the buy coming next round, that is a pretty dangerous prospect. You mentioned Cloud, Purpo, not too far away. With a 4-man stack towards this B site, a lot of this does rely on Benji. Like, he could find the information of a clear site, pull his team all the way over, and I think that is exactly what he's done.
There. 30 seconds left.
All pressure will now be on Cloud if he decides to commit to these fights, which might be wise not to. Time to count to 12 as we've got the shield used by Woot. 12 seconds until that's going to dissipate. And almost 12 seconds till the round was over, just as the plant came in. Position from Woot up close. A lot of players tucked in corners, ready to react. Miniboo can also slide into the angle if needed. I think it's soon we're going to see a smoke go up top in heaven. Boot hasn't got any online right now, but they should be refreshing in just a second. There we go. Smoke already up and online, popped up in heaven, exactly. So that closes in one of the gaps, but all players moving through the spawn. A threat for Woot. The ranged angle backed up by Miniboo and Rien's. Benji Fishy even gets involved, and well, Boo's about to come swinging through the smoke, but the round's already over. Gorgeous play by Team Heretics with an Andalucia flawless. And GX, as we said, they didn't invest a ton. This wasn't their round to win, make or break. That's this one. Credits on the line. Ults maybe will come online. Depends if they fight for the orbs. They might even have money for the next.
I think the scary thing here is just how clean some of these rounds have been, even from winnable positions, the way that the tide has turned. I think also something interesting for me in particular is watching Woot. He only use one ability for the majority of this game. Like,
I saw him vulnerable someone at least one time.
Yeah.
So don't slander him.
But anytime that shield has gone out, I feel like it's killed him. Like, he's just going, I'm just going to put a shield on me, and that's it. That's all I need. It's the only ability worthwhile. It feels like almost like Reyna with the dismiss. Like, it's like you have a dismiss or a heal, everything else is just kind of there for show. Even still, this is the round we highlighted, the round we talked about. The next one would have an ult dump available, seemingly no matter what, but letting it get that far, 5 rounds in a row it would be for Heretics, already up to 4. And you can see that the level of confidence, even on an individual level, is starting to, well, get to its pinnacle.
I think the things we want to see here is Purpo get a kill, at least before he dies. Same thing for Famzy. If they can do that, Bladestorm backs up their buy next round. Same thing for Showstopper. And there goes the shield. 12 seconds already gone. That quick. Blink and you miss it. Well, blink a few times. I mean, if it takes you 12 seconds, you need help. Paranoia going up into heaven. TP across. Reposition from Fatinho now on the backside, ready to fight. 2 more players coming in. It's Breach and Raze. It's stacked up on this site. Rifles in hand. This could be it for GX, where they finally put a stop to it. A chance for Fatinho. Cloud backs him up, but the numbers stay even. Rolling Thunder put out. That's the defenders. Striking while Benji up above takes his 3rd on his 4th. Saving the day for Team Heretics. They're going all the way to round 24. What in the world? Like, okay, right, we made the point. The dude's insane. He does stupid things, like just not stupid in a bad way, but stupid as in I feel stupid because I can't do that. How does anyone do this? And he does it every damn time. He used the ult and then went, nah, he's behind me. I know he is. I don't even need the intel. Ridiculous, like actually disgusting. And Tom, Purpo, Famzy, they didn't get their kills. It was Benji they needed to drop. Now they don't have a Showstopper. They don't have a Bladestorm. This is a disaster. We could be going to OT.
It definitely feels that way. 5 rounds in a row. Famzy up close. As said, a single kill could get them a couple of ults online. Well, Cloud's got one, but they're falling like flies. Miniboo and Woot, the double duelist leading the charge. Cloud needs to be a hero, and he won't be. This has all but fallen apart. 2 players remaining. This was a scoreline of 12-6. We were talking about GX showing what they've got, stepping up to the plate, bringing in this 20-year-old to play that duelist role and taking a map off Heretics like it was already over. Best we forget who they're playing against, Fatinho, to try and save them. Now just on to Hoodie. A 1 versus 4 to stop this going to OT, to stem the bleeding that has been this last 6 rounds. But let's be real, Mitch. We're going to OT.
My ultimate is ready.
Yeah, I don't think Hoodie has a damn choice about it. Get all the kills you want here. The clock is the one enemy you can take down. 12-12. Overtime locked in for Los Niños, and my God, what a ridiculous performance. Yeah, Woot is playing great. He's having a good game, but there's no way you're drawing my eyes away from Benji the Fishy. That guy is like, I
Didn't do anything
we need
in
to
that
check
round.
his Oh, he didn't, did he? Oh, only the 17 before it. He's 28 and 18 as a Cypher, and you know what? If they were running into his trips like they've never played Valorant before, I'd be like, yeah, fair enough. You know, it'd be an easy kill, shooting through the smoke, easy game. The guy's just like playing. It's like he's in Gladiator every
Honestly,
time. Middle
like,
of the brawl, taking everyone down.
This series alone, you could build a montage.
Oh yeah,
Like easily.
Oh, yeah.
Like you'd be like, actually, this is getting a little bit long. I'm gonna have to cut some clips out. Yeah, you know that 1v5 where he only got 4? That one's gotta go.
They're like, oh, only put in 3Ks or more. Benji, that was every round, bro. Like that's all the clips.
Oh, here we go. GX back on the attack. It's definitely where they had their better half, but the thing is, you let a lead like that slip. Oh, you go from 12-6 up, and now you have to go back to the attack and kind of remember what you were doing before.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but those rounds were working. Yeah, they were. It doesn't mean they will now. 4-man push. A stun paranoia combo available. Timing will be everything.
Paranoia from Boo. It's only slowing them down. Actually, no, it's not. I lied. It's giving Rian's a chance to strike. He only gets the one. Does damage to another, and Boo could be an overextension. He goes in for the fight, but he knows Benji's on the site. The man that's been able to take them down again and again, regardless of the numbers up against him. Well, here's a real challenge. They're vulnerable. They're so vulnerable. He gets a double, and now the push out of Woot. 6 seconds still on this ability, but the shield's gonna fall. So too will Fatinho. Hoodie, the last man standing on the site, and he's just seen Woot disappear around the corner. The timing, oh, it's terrible.
30
It could have been
seconds
his. At least he has the info, though. He knows there's one heaven. He knows there's one spawn. An attempt perhaps to plant and draw them into the open. That's exactly what he's doing, but they don't budge. They don't move. 20 seconds on the clock. They'll let the pressure of time creeping up on him make him make a mistake. There's the swing, and it's Mini Boo on top to close the round. 13-12. Team Heretics from 12-6 down are on map and series point.
Oh, you've missed one thing. The only thing.
What's that?
Playoffs point.
Oh,
They win this round. They've made it to playoffs.
yes.
Sure, they have other opportunities to do it. GX, I don't think it's guaranteed, but let's be real. It's basically guaranteed. They are, at this point, almost inevitably out if they lose this next round. And while Fnatic might be waiting at home thinking, hey, maybe we make champions today. Nah, I don't think anybody believed in that. Heretics look to make their waltz in split 2 towards playoffs, making it look easy.
They absolutely are. I saw on the player cam there, Benji's cheeks flushed red. The heart is pumping, let me tell you. Now he's got another challenger. In fact, 2 stepping up to the plate, Famzy and Purpo. It's a
Would that be a
standoff.
stun?
Nobody moving just yet. They step closer now to the trap, and Benji spotted, but he bails. He's a patient man. Doesn't want to take fights. He knows that he can't win, or might not win.
Oh, I think it wins.
He might, but he wasn't feeling it this time. Instead, regrouping for the B push.
Cool. Push through from Miniboo. Fatinho's position might not be checked, not cleared properly. That's at least one. Another for Fatinho. It's his turn to thrive. Finally, someone is stepping up. It's been a while, and Fatinho's taken over, leaving Benji all alone, and not this time. It will continue into another half of overtime as Fatinho steps up once again. He's another who's been fantastic. It's just we haven't been able to say it for a while. But he is 26 and 16. He's only 4 kills off Benji.
Yeah. He's been having his rounds. The Benji's dropped his 30 bomb already, but this one here keeps GX in contention. Big play, and that's not 3 individual fights. I mean, they're swinging to trade each other, one after another up top, head peak angle, but my guy resets every time, and Neil Zinho's face says it.
That was the look of, we're reviewing that one later.
Yep, we're gonna talk about spacing in a minute. Stun is good. Woot's on the back of it. He's been stunned himself. The swing through by Miniboo was already underway. Good disruptive utility from GX, and Rian's down. Now there's a lot of pressure on this man here. Woot on his run down. He's caught by the util. He's got to fight, and that's not a duel he wins. All right, Benji. We've hyped you up quite a bit, man. We've talked about clutches, individual plays. Now's your chance. Take the stage.
No. If GX lose this one, we kick them out of the league. That's what I'm going to say. There's absolutely 0% chance. Thank you very much, GX. You're welcome. You get to stay. And the Lucia Flawless as well. Coming into the second round of OT. They get another shot, another bite of the cherry. After 6 attempts to close this, number 7 might be the lucky number? I don't know.
Let's find out. It's a pause called by Team Heretics as well. They take time to talk about this, and well, I'm not sure what there is to talk about. A lot of individual, well, certainly reflecting on that round. I think it'll be more moving forward at this point.
Nice!
Lots of individual fights won by GX now, last 2 rounds. We said the blood was pumping for Benji. Well, I think that's
Wow. Their win of choice. I don't know if it's of choice. I don't know if they'd want to win that way. Oh, we'll see.
Was it even Vitality 17-15? Am I misremembering? They go the distance either way.
They definitely go the distance.
14-13 now. You know, GX have got more OTs locked and loaded. For Heretics, well, they certainly hope they've got at least one more. Stun lined up perfectly. That's caught them. It sent Purpo forward, but he wins the fight, and the blast packs buy them time to get out. Cloudburst does exactly the same. As far as 2 players being caught in a stun at the start of the round, aggressive in the open with no support, I think you could say that went pretty well for GX.
That's about as good as that could have gone. You got rid of Woot as well. In the entry frag, he was the biggest problem, being able to run in with that shield. Information has been garnered by Hoodie. And with the aggression on the other side of the map, it leaves him alone. Now, the thing is, he can't fight this. The only thing I expect to see from Hoodie in this position is throwing up a cage and basically just waiting for anybody to run into the trip, or even waiting for them to smoke off the angle for him. Other than that, it just has to be a retake play by GX.
30 seconds
And that's exactly what we're going to get. 3 players moving back towards the vent as well. It will be Benji with another challenge in his hands, as always. Seems to be the man that's left in the position to do the work. No utility put through, but Benji doesn't land the shots, nor does Rienz. This is falling apart now for Heretics. They made it to the finish line, but at the last second, it seems they'll be overtaken. Haven on the minds of GX, but they've got to get through Miniboo and Boo, the brothers, already denying the defuse, but that is all they can do. 15 found at last by GX, and a 3rd map locked in.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see what's going to be coming up next with Haven. A good fight from... Although Famzy was able to do well on the Omen, it definitely looked like he thrived playing that Raze.
Yeah.
So I would have liked to see them maybe try and keep a double duelist for this one, but I don't think they're going to vary their comp too much.
Well, a lot of things to look forward to. Miniboo on a Neon, always a thrill, but Purpo matching him on the other side. Most importantly for me, as always, Woot. This man, the point of contact, the tip of the spear for Team Heretics, on their attack side more so. And I am curious to see defensively here on Haven how this agent is going to be used for some of the more aggressive plays that you can go for. I think it probably opens up a lot more A and C long aggression to just go swinging through, maybe some cheeky garage peeks. Maybe just saving that shield for the retake. For now, a minute left on the clock, and GX have taken a bit of space. Problem for them is how wide open A is. The push could come through, and they would be none the wiser. So I expect them to be a little bit quicker and a bit more focused on one direction in the next couple of seconds.
Smoke will potentially delay them a little bit more. Never mind. Woot's under pressure. Shield up. It's actually going to be Purpo goes through. Completely ignores Woot. And well, he's even going to win that battle as well. A huge individual play from Purpo to start. Miniboo wants to try and get back in as quickly as possible. Almost caught with stun in hand, and Paranoia will force him back even further. And although Rienz has got 1, it's now Miniboo in a 1v4.
I guess it is Purpo on the Neon I should have been most excited about. Not a bad start for him, dealing with Woot, opening up this site completely. And, well, Miniboo, let's see if he can fight back against 4. Benji could do it. I'm not sure, even in this scenario. Purpo's already spotted him, info there, and a firing squad of players, and even a wall bang to finish it off. 1-0 for GX, a pistol under their belt, and a solid start here on Haven. I'm really up in the air as to what we're going to see here. I have no idea on expectations, especially with these compositions, but I'm excited to learn.
Yeah, I think all in all, the comp on paper from Heretics, I'm not a huge fan. Like, I think that it's just the loss of so much utility. Like, you don't have any information, like, really, other than just aggression. Like, okay, you've got yourself the Cypher as normal, but it's more so just not having an initiator that can actually, like, find out stuff of where they're going, which on a 3-side map is always a little bit more difficult to play against. It means you kind of have to be aggressive, and it forces you into a stance that's a little bit more difficult to adapt. And I think the GX are going to know that. You can see sort of patience in a lot of these early rounds, but then they also have that explosive side of Purpo, which I think we've seen it on Lotus before. This guy's a really good Neon player.
Well, if you hadn't seen it before, I think the pistol round might have taught you that, but I'm sure there's plenty more examples on the way. The 1-0 start sees GX in second round move towards Garage, fake out some control. The rotations haven't come through. Still heavily stacked on A. Miniboo falling back as if he's under a lot of threat. The spams in the other direction. I thought they'd sent GX backwards, but they're continuing to aggress. Team Heretics on the side angle. Rienz and Woot able to pick up 2. Rienz is known to be here, although he's getting a little bit closer. 1 bullet. Need a reload there. Lovely stuff. And 2v3, opportunities for damage are definitely in play, especially with Benji Fishy not having rotated.
30
being
seconds
sat in the
left.
exact same position. Only downside being he doesn't have any info behind him, so he'll have to split his attention a bit.
He's heard the steps. He knows that they're pushing long. Timing here could at least get him 1. That's the first kill under his belt. Anything more was going to be difficult. Let's give him Rienz a little bit more of a chance. Stun is available, but they're ahead of it. Already waiting for him to try and make that peak in GX. Although it's very costly, they are going to have that second round conversion.
Yeah, like you said, costly indeed. 2 players surviving, couple of weapons lost, shields having to be reinvested into. It really is going to run up the bill for round number 3. Depending on how much they decide to invest, you know, they do obviously have quite a few credits at their disposal, and we're seeing the investments go down to 4 rifles and a pistol. All in all, not bad. Good opportunities for them, especially attack side. Oh, even the Stinger coming out from Cloud. He's investing a little bit more. I know Ash is going to be happy with that. I've learned Ash is to the Stinger what I am to the Odin.
Bad.
Wow, there was no need for that. Nice stun coming out of Purpo. At least catches Miniboo up close and trades out those fights.
And around like this,
It's an upgraded weapon.
yeah, they can sort of even up the field a little bit more with these early fights going their way. As said, with the composition that's being run by Heretics, it does sort of put them in a bit of a box of how they've got to play this map. You don't have the Sober util to sort of give you early presence over on A. It definitely makes things that little bit more difficult at times. So it's going to be interesting to see how they become adaptive. And I'm liking the fact that GX, after getting that early trade, are just patient. There's some very deep positions being held by the opposing side.
Right here.
But they also then don't really have any information about where this push is going to be going.
Again, this is the problem you highlighted, Tom, to do with this composition. Like, there's nothing for them to clear out main, to drone short. You know, you could get early rotations. You could have Rienz in position, at least towards B, so that he could stun either side, regardless of where the contact comes in. Instead, that breach utility will not be here. And again, Benji Fishy finds himself facing down against a lot of players, but not alone. This time, Woot is here with him. Shield up, ready for the fight. He's got his first, but that is all. And a shutdown of both players on the side. Rotates have come in just in time, but even then, just in time for a bit of damage. Purpo and Patino both low, but it's going to be tough to take them down.
Rienz does have a full belt of utility to play with, but they're actually going to get aggressive. The 2 lower HP players leaving Cloud on his lonesome, but they're wrapping back around behind. This isn't going to be expected. Nobody really watching in that direction. They've already managed to bypass a lot of the awkward positions. It's a beautiful post plant by the side of GX, and, well, you can say the Heretics were none the wiser.
Oh, yeah. This was a very good adjustment with both players low. If you stay on site, wall bangs or open fights not going to favor you. So instead, they take matters into their own hands. Miniboo's early aggression being canceled out. You saw the flash, you saw the stun. It was gorgeous work from this side, and then moving back in the other direction. Take advantage of that C site, but how they managed to deal with Benji Fishy and Woot, who shielded Woot. And it seemed the timing was good too. Benji took up the fight the second that the smoke faded and Woot had a duel. But GX are coming ahead on individual fights. Again, this is a very different team, I feel, to what we saw. Well, it is quite literally, roster-wise even. Very different to what we saw previously in this stage, in the last stage. I like it a lot more, but the reality is Heretics have always been able to come back into this. Look at map 1.
Yeah.
6-6, 13-9 in the end. GX got to keep their foot on the gas.
I think map 2 also, 12-6 down,
True,
goes to
yeah,
OT.
exactly.
Like they have proven that no lead is too big. And what, in this round at least, I'm not sure we can have too many expectations. Minibu and Wu already down. And again, it's just patient from GX, waiting for them to make some sort of mistake. Play a little bit more aggressive. Stuns into both back corners, nowhere safe to stand. Utility being destroyed as well. And Benji, even just trying to get into the site, is met by nano swarms. Taking a hefty amount of damage. There's not really anywhere to stand. And I'm liking the fact that each time GX are not just sitting there and allowing them to retake, they are making it awkward.
Yeah, being proactive once they find that early space. You know, discipline in the early round and proactive in the late. Couldn't ask for anything better, and quite literally, Andalucia flawless for GX. 4-0 now. And for the side of Heretics, yeah, look, we can look back at that and say they only had pistols. It is what it is, but how many times have we seen Heretics with pistols, with early pushes, with jump scare fights, or even stacks on the back of a site that they managed to come out on top in? Not this time.
I think the bigger issue for me as well, though, is the fact that we're not really seeing
This goes here.
much needed to be used in terms of ultimates and stuff like that. Like, you've still got the Hunter's Fury available, Overdrive as well. Like, this is a lot on the line here for GX, and already they're going to try and get that opening pick. Boo hasn't managed to escape. That is a great start from Cloud.
Yeah, and they're straight in on the back of it. No stopping this train. Oh, okay, maybe there is. Minibu does well. He was blinded up there, still got his one. Now, Woot's chance with the shield back online. The ult's gonna be popped. He's caught someone, it's Vitinho. Oh, he was big on the last map, but a big play needed here, and it's Woot coming out on top. Shield not even gonna be damaged. And the spike taken. But Hoodie has a 1 versus 3 to attempt. And sure, the shield will at least be gone from Woot, but he's got a meat shield of 2 players to work with.
Still, we've seen the last map from Hoodie look good.
But they know he's gone too, because the turret or the alarm bot went down.
Yeah, the problem is he's going to have to take his time, worrying that maybe Benji's still here or someone's lurking around in the darkness, and instead he's going to be flanked on. He might not even get a chance to plant this spike. Left in the open, all too easy for Woot. And well, it took some time, but Heretics already have their first round onto the board.
Yes, they do. And it comes off this man again.
Nowhere to run!
Hunter's Fury was beautiful. Shrouded step right along the line of it, so it didn't really help out. Oh, again, Andy, you're doing a killer job today, man. Like, that flash hit, I knew he was blind. I saw he was in the path of the paranoia, but there was that split-second window we just saw.
Big round.
Where Minibu had an opportunity, and he seized that opportunity right off rip. And even then, as they have to swing out to clear him from the corner that he quickly runs into, that opens the door for Woot to take those fights. A very early bit of aggression coming out. Vulnerability put out by Woot as Minibu tried to follow up on the kill, but they made it around the corner. They backed off in time. They'll reset this early aggression.
Yeah, you could tell that GX were definitely panicking a little bit there. Vitinho's thrown out both his flashes already within the first, like, 15 seconds of the round, so not going to have that to play with at least. On the other side, sure, a similar few pieces of utility have been used. Purpo, at the speed of light, trying to make his way in towards this A site. But it's all a ruse, and it has left the B site at least for a second open, but that's not going to last too long.
Well, there's some information there. The paranoia, though, obscures a lot of it. Big fight for Rian's. It's actually going to put the Rolling Thunder in. That's caught them. They're all stunned up and now gunned up. Easy peasy. With a 5 versus 1. Purpo. Well, he was damn impressive on this Neon in the first round, but he smoked out with Spike down on the site, a flank underway. And I think chances have got to be, if not 0, very damn close to it. He has fought, found the one player, isolated the fight. Well done. But the rest of the squad will not be moving very soon.
No, with the spike down on B, it would have to be A pretty silly play from them. Good work from Heretics as well, because my main worry was that that economy
10
for the
seconds
side
left.
of GX was really building up. Like, it was getting to a point where breaking it was going to be almost impossible. But 2 rounds like this, a couple of cleaner ones as well, although the money's not going to be affected and GX will still be able to buy, it's more so that it's building up on the other side. Heretics double up, get themselves to 2, and it does seem like being able to get their players in the right place at the right time, like the utility coming out from both Boo, and more importantly, Riens, set them up nicely just to almost deny before they even got into a post plant.
What a start from Cloud on the IGL as well. 10-3 for the Sova. And he's been impressive all series long. I feel like a silent performer at times.
That goes there.
That first map, though, certainly anything but. Even on Split, had his rounds in the off angles. Taking that more supportive role.
Immediate stun, smoke, and just worried for a reaction. The thing is, though, again, GX are being a little bit more patient with it. The drone is almost definitely going to have to force Miniboo back, but he stays in this aggressive position, hoping that maybe he can catch someone off guard, but after not getting anything immediately, it has to be the fallback. The danger, though, is that he is the lone defender. If he goes down, there's not really any support.
Yeah, if there was a Killjoy on Team Heretics with ult online, that round would make a lot, well, maybe less sense with the hyper-aggressive position. But it seems like they have alternate plans. Spamming through the smoke on the choke point, an opening duel is found. That's Cloud, 10-4 now. The rest of the squad on Heretics still have to fight through this choke point. I like the fast lane helping them out, blocking that angle, even forces Purpo back.
The vulnerable. Both paranoias still online. Already the stun's in, so much utility. Observer's Nightmare into play, but it's the defenders doing everything. Leaving Hoodie 21 HP and just run for the hills, my friend. There is absolutely no chance that you're winning this from this point onwards. Holding onto the gun is the best case scenario. A really clean look to the retake for Team Heretics, and well, you could see why that plan was initially put in place.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I don't think you can account for Boo finding the opening, but the retake with all that utility is terrifying. And just ridiculous. Survives late to put the paranoia and the swing in with the vulnerable. You're doing so much damage as Miniboo. So many ideas here on the Team Heretics side, and doesn't seem like there's many problems.
Surprised that they're going to try and stem the bleeding a little.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I think it was the right time before things get out of hand. The lead is still there for GX. Now look to keep it that way. Fighting for a 5th. An early battle from Miniboo, tries to deny it. He is tagged up, but he's not deterred. Instead, determined to take these duels. One-way smoke. It's not something you want to see him push around the other side of, and indeed, he is just going to hold the corner. Up, a little pre-fire going through. It looked to me like it was on, but the wall's a little too thick at that part, I believe.
Gotta go.
That seems like a more direct approach this time. Miniboo spotting that aggression. It will call for a rotation, but it seems like, again, GX just showing themselves on one side, leaving a man behind, and then immediately swapping back. But you can see, again, like Boo, he's done quite well to just play contact and then rotate back quickly. We saw the same thing when he was playing Sewers. All the idea is here is just to make sure they have information, which is what I said was a problem for them, is just not having that initiator. So he's using himself.
Yeah, so far to great success. They've called the rotations last round, and now, oh, hold on. Well, what was heard? What was seen? They immediately shift back. Nothing on A, and instead, it's going to be a stack up towards C. Woot does lose his life, but they shouldn't expect this many players to be here. Never mind. Miniboo is deleted immediately. Good flash, but a headshot out of Hoodie. Well, that will deter further re-aggression and get a plant in for GX. This fake, it didn't fully work. It almost backfired. But now they found themselves in a 5v3 as a result of it. And, well, I don't think Rians has long to live. The flash saved him for a moment, but not a moment longer.
No, and again, you can see that Heretics were just almost pushed and pulled across the map quite a bit by just these almost fake outs by the side of GX, and maybe not expecting some of those players to be in such deep angles by the time they actually took the fight. I think Hoodie does well, like the hitting a dink, but also getting one of the picks in towards the side. But hey, just when those fights, those individual plays don't go the way of Heretics, it's again where you see I guess what is missing when they're not playing the retake as a group. Like, you don't have as much supportive utility to sort of support someone like Miniboo when he's taking an individual fight.
Yeah, and then sometimes he doesn't need it, but this time maybe it would have helped. What a shot that was. I do think as well the push and the pull from GX, we're seeing it, the adaptations straight out of the pause, get a player pushed up on C, move back, try to sell the fake, and blitz in. And by golly, it almost worked, but almost worked perfectly with a free sight. In fact, I think what they got out of it was better, because they managed to isolate some duels. They managed to take down some players instead of setting up a full retake, which Heretics have been pretty good at so far. Came in today, Tom, and if you told me there was a chance that GX would beat Team Heretics, I'd call you a fool, Tom. I'll be honest with you, especially with Substitute recently and change of leadership not that long ago.
Right here.
But they have really landed on their feet with this, well, these maps at least.
There.
Yeah, I think anybody predicting GX to win this series is
Cover going out.
probably a loved one of a member of GX or part of the organization themselves.
Yeah, exactly. you can't even say they're Spanish anymore, right? Because I think they go with Heretics.
Well, here we go. Reaggression doesn't actually get anything. Again, GX are out of there before things get too problematic. And instead, now looking into a slightly emptier site. Now, you have to bear in mind that Fitinho is one off his ultimate. Same for Hoodie. It could easily be a massive change for this round. Woot under pressure. Has support from Boo. But again, it's going to be isolated fights, and again, it's almost just a bit of a ruse. They've slow walked back into that B site. Rians, though, has done well.
Respect the wall bang play, and the second one too, Rians. Tell me a third one. Always love to see it. Got some support here as well. Although flashes are no longer in play for Rians, they have still got Boo on the paranoia. Problem is, he's a little far away. Not sure he's going to use it from there. Coming up behind and taking a fight just now. Already Cloud's able to drop him, and now they've opened up the side control with Woot down. Flash now focusing on another duel. They're not stopping, and they might wish they did. Rolling Thunder from Fitinho. It's used right off rip. It's caught a player up close. Benji, and he's safe. Okay, another piece of utility. Let's try to run the clock down a little bit further. The defuse now needs to be attempted pretty soon, and, well, it will be, because they've dropped Fitinho and found it at long last. 5-4. Team Heretics just one away. That was a chaotic round from GX, and I do feel like, Tom, they shut down the mid play, they open up A-Con, and then they want to keep fighting. I guess it's the plant position, though, that spurred them on for that.
But that's the thing, there have been moments in this game where they've struggled versus the retake, so they want to, we've had successes and failures where they try and re-aggress. This time it just comes off the back of another sort of hero play from Benji and Rians. Like they won a lot of fights that, again, the expectation was they would go the way of GX, but when those heroes arise, it can be more difficult. 4 of the last 5 now going the way of Heretics. Financially, both teams still in a pretty decent spot, but this is where the ults are starting to come into play. And I'm mostly looking at Hoodie with an opportunity here to just basically force players out of the site.
Have to fight for some control unless they're dropping it right there in the corner. In fact, they will. This does leave a safe space towards the back of C site. Rolling Thunder's going to be used, though. There might be no safe space. Not for the attackers. Benji right on them. Already taking down one. Lockdown destroyed. Boo striking from above. He does damage. And as he's being hunted down, his teammates were there. But they weren't able to convert the kill. And now Miniboo's kind of isolated on the backside. Purpo able to drop him. This is a bit of a disaster. I thought Purpo was already out of this round. I was ready to add an orb to the HUD, but instead, it's a 3 versus 3 with Purpo very much still being a threat. The flank, it's being heard. It's definitely being heard now with the shield activated, but dealing with it will be a different thing entirely. Vulnerability, it's perfect. It's caught him, and it's an easy kill for Woot with shield regenerated. He'll move towards the site, but Purpo is tearing through his teammates. Famzy with another 2 HP left. The shield soon to disappear, and no wall can protect them from that side. 6 on the board for GX.
Yeah, again, a lot of these rounds have become incredibly scrappy in the way that they've gone. like denying that ultimate initially seemed to work very well from the side of Heretics, like pushing them back into a pretty awkward spot. You had the re-aggression of Purpo, who actually runs out of bullets mid-fight and still manages to get away with it. And that's the big thing, like him escaping, so much more important. Right back into the fight to get rid of Miniboo, and then he just takes over the round. Like that was a Purpo round through and through. And, well, if we're comparing at the moment, he's definitely been the better of the duelist. 11 and 4 right now.
Bamsy,
Oh, yeah.
let's go.
I mean, we got a taste of it in the pistol round, but it hasn't really stopped. It keeps...
And then it's the Rian's Whoop Miniboo combo that it's going to be problematic. On defense, it was always going to have its struggles. So it's just, if they end this half with 5, I think they're still fine.
Yeah, they should be. They should be. Again, I want to see it in practice. I'm sure there's some ideas up GX's sleeve. Purpo can be a real menace. And they'll have that information clearing with Cloud. Something that's been missing from Heretics here in the defense. And even then, they haven't really been sold into the fakes that much. They seem to be ahead of it a lot of the time. They've got players in position. GX are just coming up ahead. Now, all down to the spam battles. It's my kind of game. But Heretics are just backed off. They're not giving them anything. Backed off in some ways.
Yeah.
In other ways, Woot's pushed up C-Long.
Yeah, they have to. They have to. Again, it's just what this composition has around it. Early space being taken towards that A site. Smoke actually placed directly in front, just to create things a little bit more awkward, but they're not going to have any problems there. And now Benji going to be under pressure again. The full force of this squad barreling down on him. There's no escape. Purpo just too quick at his heels. And already with a post-plant Hunter's Fury, there's going to have to be something here. Maybe an attempt to take a 1v1 to even things up. We'll see if that's the case.
Well, if they want to attempt a 1v1 to even things up, I know someone who has an ult online. But not a shield to work with. It would be an even fight, not one he wants to take. Instead, grouping with the team, and it's not worked out. Absolute desolation from the side of GX with Rian's left to try to save this rifle, but they're going to deny it. Already pushing up close, and Cloud quick on the trigger. 7 for GX. One last shot for Team Heretics to keep this close. Deny that 8-4 lead. It would require a pretty big comeback. GX come in. Well, they've got a Neon ult, they've got a Sova ult. It's not the most in the world. What I'm terrified about, if I'm on the side of GX, is that man Wu. Once he activates that shield and fires through the ultimate,
Inside,
pretty much a 5v4 off rip.
Yes.
Well, since coming back from Master Shanghai, Heretics were yet to drop a map. They were 2-0 versus Na'Vi and Foot. I think teams that expectations a little bit higher coming into split number 2 than the likes of GX, but they have proven today that they're revitalized. The victory versus Na'Vi, and another potential one here versus Heretics would definitely put the fear of God into teams they have.
Shield
Coming up left, Purpo again there to lead the charge. He's been fantastic. And there comes the attempt. I don't think he caught anyone. Nobody caught off the back of the ultimate from Woot. Now they try and run in, and it's just a blender. Boo up above is the only real threat left, with Benji only having a pistol, and that threat was absolutely nothing.
That's a real shame. Even waiting until the spike plant, it could have been so much different, but Woot had already activated his shield, so he had to use the ultimate, and that ultimately comes back to bite them. 8-4 for GX, with an Andalucia flawless to close out the half. After, realistically, being 12-6 up, going to an OT, and having Heretics on match series, and as you pointed out, playoff point, it must have felt over in that moment. Sure, you're always going to believe, you got to try for every round, every inch is worth fighting for, but the reality is, in their minds, in their hearts, they must have felt like that was the end. And now, 8-4 up on map 3, up against Heretics. They've got to be on cloud 9, while Heretics are suffering the kind of losses they haven't seen in the EMEA.
So they've got to be on MIBR.
Oh,
Sorry.
I don't want to be anywhere near your DMs. Look to you.
Maybe a little bit mean.
Look to you, sir.
8-4. We've seen Heretics turn these before, but that look for Miniboo is not something we've seen in a while. Normally this team is happy, laughing, cheering. But it has been a different story for him in this matchup. He didn't have a great split. Not looking his best here either. They definitely could change going into this attack, but they want to get that pistol off the mark. He's leading the way. First kill, the tip of the spear of Miniboo, and Woot up right behind him. But again, Purpo does incredible work. It should have been a case where maybe he gets one, but he's made this possible.
He has indeed. Paranoia still for Famzy, although the same can be said for Boo. The shield should be going down for Woot any second now, if not already. So that's at least something for GX. Smoke fading as he goes right on in up close, and he almost got a shot at the second player. But Famzy's left to do it, and a clean shot from Rienz puts that to bed. Pistol round for Team Heretics, and the road to recovery begins. Gap is now 3, but this is where things fell apart last time. Over on Split, they won the pistol, and they lost the follow-up. The other thing I'll say about Miniboo is that so far, yes, Purpo has been a far more impressive Neon. He is 17-5 after that round. But it's a lot harder to make it work on the defense. Granted, Purpo did just now, but that's a pistol round. And I think for Miniboo, that's where this is where we can see him start to find that value. Himself and Woot entering sites is going to be very, very difficult to deal with.
Well, we already saw it in the last map. Woot really coming alive on that attack side. Able to take that first contact and almost just create havoc. And this round, well, Purpo's put that extra couple of kills into a Sheriff. Gonna try and do some damage in this round, but that's all we can really expect. Benji's already made quite a bit of presence forward. This is going to leave it. It should be impossible for Hoodie to get anything. Well, there you go. Miniboo just starting to farm. 2 kills already to his name. As said, though, early days in this second half.
Oh, yeah. Listen, we're not going to draw any conclusions from round 2 up against weaker weapons. It was a bit of a miracle that GX made it work last time. It was, what, Hoodie walking up into split heaven and doming 3 people, catching Miniboo with his back turned as well. That ain't going to happen this time. Mainly because Hoodie's dead, but... maybe someone else will do it. Would be Purpo with how things have been going. These players can tend to sit back, and their idea is not just to die to the spike, it is to herd these players into those angles, kill them when they go to exit, drop the weapons and make it costly. Or, if they don't come your way, you can go your own way, straight into the spike. Patino at least gets an orb out of it, but so does Rienz. Now 2 away from a Rolling Thunder. The rest of the squad dying for their cash.
He's probably not the man you wanted to give an orb to. Of anybody that's still alive in the server, Rienz has one of the more high-impact ults, but also is the closest to actually getting it. But that's why they gave those 2 players the pistols at the end of the round. It was basically an attempt for them to try and earn up something extra. Now this purchase from Team Heretics is still one to fear. 4 rifles. Rienz is going to take that back seat. The expectation being that probably either one of his teammates or one of the opposing team will be going down, and immediately you're going to see that same Sova util being thrown out with an attempt from Purpo to get aggressive, but that attempt was denied.
He's falling back to the A site with his buddies, 3 players there, and you see the difference on this GX side in terms of utility holds. They've got Garage and they've got Long held down by a turret, alarm bot clearing out B, and it's not like it's giving away a lot of information. Squad's gonna have to walk into it to find out where it's at. In fact, as they make their way through, I think there's a spam setup from Hoodie. So straight off contact, it will just be spamming away. Unfortunately, the bot's being destroyed. Stratagem hasn't worked. The rotation's underway from GX towards the B site. Now that the bot's down, they have to keep an eye on it. And I thought for a moment they might start to rotate over in the direction of C, because remember, turret got destroyed too, but instead, they're sticking with 3 on the A site. They've made the call. They suspect this is where Heretics are going, and they have read it correctly. Winning the first fight was Boo, but, okay, I thought Purpo had more in him, but good flashes keep him down. They don't know about Cloud, though. Surprise, there he is, 1 for him, and that is all he gets. Hoodie here in time to support his buddy, and in fact, will win out the round! He didn't get his 3K last round. He saved it for this one.
Yeah, the more important time to come alive, a big one for the side of GX, because you had that sort of explosive take into the site again. And that's the thing, the read from GX was fantastic. Like, you're in a spot where your bot's been broken in mid, then a player breaks the turret on C, so the expectation is, okay, this is either a split now to try and wrap around into the C site, or to go back into the B site and pincer in. And they just stack up on the A site. They have the read, and well, that extra player of Cloud buys time for Hoodie to get in, and that is what ends up winning the round. Big round from Hoodie, an important one at that. The problem though is how much damage it's done. Like, that was still the bonus. That was still a Spectre, that was still a piece or two missing. Now you have the Rolling Thunder, Overdrive, one away for both Neons. And if this round goes the way of Heretics, they're right back in this map.
You can see the coaching staff of Heretics, the players too. Not happy with that round loss. It's starting to build up on them. And yeah, Heretics could get right back into it here, but if GX walk away with the round win, where's the economy at for the attacking side? And the history so far has not been leaning their way. GX, can't believe I'm saying this, but so far they've looked like the better team. That has to change. Knowing Heretics, it will.
Yeah, especially on that attack. The danger, though, is Purple in this corner. This is a gamble. Anything put through to check this, a stun, or even just a trade, leaves one side of the map very open. You'd expect someone to clear this, or at least go down. That's the first. Stun not really working out, trying to escape. This is going to be difficult, but he doesn't try and escape. He sticks around for a second. Again, another mammoth task placed on Purpo's shoulders. But he thrives.
30 seconds left.
Well, you had a choice. Get shot in the back or stand your ground. See how many you can take down. The correct call was made, as we can see. Reposition of the Killjoy utility also. The turret was on B, but the alarm bot had been sat here inside Garage. Now it's been pulled back because of Hoodie's new position. And that timing of Famzy, it nearly put the favor so clearly in their hands, but instead, it's a competition still. Rolling Thunder for Rians. No, not yet. They're gonna wait a moment. Allow GX to get close, and now, oh, the Rolling Thunder angle is pretty bad. It only goes towards the spawn, and the rest of the squad's already gone into the Garage. Boo has to hold strong. Good stun, good follow-up on the back of it. Riens gets stunned, but Benji's still good to go. And with the cam up, he knows exactly where Fatinho is. Didn't manage the tag, but he might not need it. Riens has gone down to secure the round, and the spam attempt good, but not good enough. 9-7. Heretics have found it.
It's funny, if they stand the other way around, I think Riens dies to that.
It's done.
It really is just who decided to take that angle. But again, just a good response. And it seemed that, sure, the Rolling Thunder didn't do a mass amount, but just that little bit of delay enabled them to just fight the players back towards Garage first without being caught from other positions. Still, it came down a lot to the individual brilliance of some of the players on their side.
Let's fuck. Yes!
Interesting time to cut off. I think he had more to say. We'll get that in the next replay, probably.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. But yeah, no, I saw the Rolling Thunder, and originally they'd lined it up more towards B. Then it gets pulled back, go towards the spawn. I'm thinking this is a disaster. Those players are ready. You can't even follow up on the guy that got hit by it, and maybe it just buys you a couple seconds. But those seconds were capitalized on perfectly.
Stopping fire.
A gorgeous result for the side of Heretics now. Woot, he's certainly not going to step into that Nano Swarm till it's gone. Wants to keep his shield online, and that he will do. Moving to the site itself, ready for the retake attempt. Shot in the back, though, and deleted. Okay, a little bit of damage already, a chance. And now it's Cloud that has to convert it. 46 HP on Riens. 87 with 23 for Boo. It's doable, but the swing is too quick and too clean. 9-8.
Yeah, I think if you're talking about consistency, Riens has been the player to watch over this series. Currently 18-9, which, again, when you're playing the Breach, a lot of the time we've seen him with Spectres, like lower weapons, trying to set up the rest of the team and still have more than double anyone else on your team, especially when you consider who his team are. That's pretty ridiculous.
Nice. Good.
He's kept them in a lot of rounds. And again, we're seeing them build into this now. Mini Boo, I'm looking at the judge, but also the Overdrive. Likely to take a pacey start, but there are 4 players set up from GX.
Oh, here's an early fight. Purpo, he's been challenged on both angles, somehow finds one. Famsi comes up for the support. Great damage done with Benji, barely holding on to life. But still, the kills seem to be swinging the other direction. Miniboo runs out of juice at just the wrong moment. And with Purpo on 18 health, matching that almost of what Benji Fishy in effect matching it. There's not a lot that we can hope from either of those players. It comes down to Boo to create this space. No ultimate to work with. He can't TP for reposition. There's still Killjoy utility watching C, watching B. Where can he take it? Straight into the waiting arms of Cloud by the looks of things.
Yeah, the thing is for GX with the lockdown, they almost don't need to fight this. The smoke.
Oh, I love it.
You'd think it maybe gives the game away, but it doesn't. Purpo's dead to rights. Just as he turns, will be taken out. And now they're going to try and go back. The problem is, I don't know if you realized Cloud was this close.
Oh!
Just about makes it around the corner, and now any worries will have dissipated. They can get themselves into that after plant. There's only really one angle that they're going to have to keep an eye on, and there's nothing Cloud should be able to do in time to stop him.
Oh, Benji! I thought he was down and out. I thought he was done for. But Cloud has pushed the site when they have a lockdown being placed. Completely disconnected in this 2v2. And now, well, the result is a very difficult clutch. Both players sitting in the same corner. I love this. Who's the first to swing? Is it the low HP Benji? You would think so. Allow Boo to play later on into the round. Already tagged by the turret, and it's Benji to find the kill. A 3K for him. A standard round, I suppose, 9-9, but an utterly ridiculous clutch. That smoke out of Boo, the timing to catch the play in the connector, absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was just an attempt to try and catch a timing, like using the lockdown just seconds after, but it just seemed disjointed. And that's the thing that I've enjoyed.
It was the second he comes out, holds down.
But that's the thing I've enjoyed so far, that GX have had like a lot of synergy. Even if it's been maybe more simplistic than they would have liked, they haven't had as much time as others, but that looked disjointed. That looked like a team with a new player.
It looked like two players with two ideas.
Yeah.
And nothing bridging the gap of the two. And hey, look, maybe it works in some world, but this ain't the one. Big punish from Team Heretics. Stun is good, but they haven't seen Famsi. It's a free kill. He's got his one, and the rest of the squad's actually given up. Even the players that made it through have now gone back.
Well, there's a chance to even things up. Wu looking to take the 1v1 versus Famsi. He's lost it before, and it's a little bit shaky, but he gets it over the line. Putting things back into a 4v4 scenario. Space has been taken as well by Boo. Deep in towards the garage. Paranoia will be thrown out, but two players still here. Hoodie almost able to get away with it. But Rians again is there to save the day.
Yeah, and the beautiful thing about that, and I have to compliment Heretics for it, they have three players coming through that choke point. They're swung from two angles at exactly the same time, and they divvy up the responsibilities perfectly, able to deal with both. No blind side. And GX left to save on the other side of the map. They will carry these rifles through to the next round because their credits are low. And what that means for Heretics, especially because they're not hunting down aggressively, they're playing for the win in this round just in case. They get to build up their economy. They get a buffer. They'll also take the lead here with double digits locked in.
That's exactly the same as the previous map, but they've started that comeback a little bit earlier. We start to see those individuals popping off. Again, Rians just with high impact plays, but Benji now starting to come up to the table as well. And that's just where, like, if you're GX, you needed to sort of stomp out the rounds where you had those advantages. You needed to put those rounds on the board when you had the chance. And well, now with 6 of the last 7 rounds, obviously the pistol included, shining light of this team has been Purpo over the last couple of weeks. I think definitely proving that change was worthwhile, at least for him. For now, though, it looks like we're going to get another brawl over on A long, a fight of everybody.
Now with these pistols, you got to make use of it up close, and there it is. The crazy play is the one that catches Boo off guard. A rifle dropped. Benji to watch the back. I don't think that he was seen by the drone. He has the space, he has the time, and probably not expected to be in this position. Eyes focused forward, one looking back, and it is Cloud. Rifle catches him rolling. Thunder used back towards mid. That's an unusual use of that ultimate, let me tell you, but it's bought them some time, perhaps, to get this plant in. TP attempt onto long, it should be heard. They should know. He's rejoining his teammates anyways. Player up in heaven is Woot, but he's tagged quite low, down to 48 HP. Nice shot from Rianz. This guy's just been on fire. His 20th kill, and now support comes in, barely needs it. This is gorgeous. Hoodie's the last man standing, a sheriff in hand, a player in heaven to take down with the plant for him, and Miniboo nowhere to be seen. He literally cannot find these players. He'll have to just sprint down short to even have a chance, or try to bait them into the open. But look at the plan. Vulnerable wall bang, vulnerable wall bang. And now you're running out of time, buddy. Very well played by the side of Heretics, playing with their food, and sure, it bites back, but it's already too late to claim the win.
Yeah, again, like you take this round in isolation and you're looking at 2 rifles, pistols, your opponent using an ult, and you've killed every single one of their players. Like, it's a good round from GX. Like, you can't take that away from them. The problem is the context. Financially, has it damaged Heretics? No. Will it put you in a better position for the next round? Okay, you've got an extra ult online. It's not too bad, but ultimately, again, not massively. So now you're still staring down the barrel of a gun that sends you pretty much out. It's out of your hands, that's for sure. You're relying on other teams losing in almost a perfect order just to still be in the tournament, and you then have to win the next game. The likelihood seems almost at 0 if they lose this map. And those narrow margins could be what costs it, because it has to be said, GX have played excellently today. Like, the level we've seen today in comparison to other weeks is not even comparable. Like, it's not, this is a different squad for one player completely. But it might not matter in the end.
That's the sad part. Too little, too late, perhaps. Nice angle by Benji. See one player cross to the left. He knows that there's 2 inside of Garage, so that will be kept an eye on late into the round. And in fact, they've even got Woot here as well. This isn't just a suspicion of a play. They know that there should be a play coming in here. In fact, Team Heretics fake planted on B, now have come back to the window. I did wonder if maybe we'd see some utility thrown towards Garage, but instead it will be a slow approach of roll the dice. The C side, they've chosen correctly and caught the fight out of Garage just in time.
Oh no, that's Famzy gone as well. If it wasn't bad enough already, there's no utility to delay over on this C site anymore. The stun from the other side means that Purpo diving through this, it would seemingly be suicide. They're actually gonna go for it. They're gonna try and make a play, and well, it's about as much of a slaughter as expected. 12-9, 1 away from playoffs confirmed for Heretics, a place we always expected them to be after their Masters performance and after how well they've been doing in this split. GX have given them a run for their money, but after just 1 round win, the bonus round is all they've won in the second half. They need to now find 3 in a row just for another bite of the cherry.
I feel like this is going to be the kind of series that haunts these players, the staff, and far into the future. The first map, so close at the start. Heretics ran away with it. The second almost slipped out of their grasp, and here, now GX are behind 3 in a row for OT. Heretics already feel their slot being filled in playoffs, and it's Benji Fishy. Oh, look at the position. It's absolutely gorgeous. He's got one. Slowed down the push. The Odin didn't find success, but there's still plenty more players to fill in the gaps, and they're doing just that. Purpo popping the ult in a desperate attempt, and Cloud does find one straight through the cage. It's not over just yet, but that might be the final nail in the coffin. Big play needed by Purpo. He's moving to the site, but the players just tucked in, waiting for a chance to take the fight together, and they're not giving him an inch. Good luck in this one. With time ticking away, even the vulnerable through, just to make him slow that down a little bit more. Cam catching him. Oh my goodness, he's not got an inch to breathe. And this could be it, and it should be it. It almost wasn't. Benji went a little low, but in the end, it's Heretics series.